You're in Braves country. Drink like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop. all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate. Please remain standing. We call your attention to our fans here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Play ball! At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Good afternoon, Braves country, as we are rolling along here on a Friday, getting ready for Braves Marlins. Should be a fun series. And you see the man on your screen if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube on Braves Country Radio. We're also on TikTok Live on Braves Country X. You see the man on your screen, and that is our new starting pitcher tonight, Didier Fuentes. And I was looking up some names. I didn't want to go with the obvious, and I know there's going to be jokes made. The obvious thing would be to do was to make some kind of joke with his nickname to be Diddy. I didn't want to go that route because we try to keep a family-friendly show. So we're calling him the Fountain of Youth. Fuentes in Spanish means fountain, and with him being the youngest player to hit the major league since Julio Urias, I believe that was 2019. It was somewhere in that neighborhood. But he is the youngest player since Julio Urias, who since been out of the league because of domestic violence and whatnot. Actually, I want to say Urias is before that. But he just turned 20 years old a few days ago. And so he's a youngster. I think he's probably just up for a spot start, to be honest. But the Braves want to see what he has. And we'll get into him in 1 second, but I did want y'all to be able to identify who he is by putting his picture up there. And now we put the schedule up that we normally put up, and there you have it. For once, I'm putting last series scores up because it looks just so damn pretty looking at the New York Mets getting swept in Atlanta. And they didn't just get swept. They folded in game one where they had a 4-1 lead. 3-0 and then 4-1. And the Braves came back, roaring back, and win that game in extras 5-4. And then that was kind of a gut punch. And then the next two games we win 12-1. Practically a complete game shutout by Chris Sale. Missed it by 1 out as we had to go get him at the very end of the game. I still think he should have been able to finish that game, but that's neither here nor there. And then last night's game, Spencer Strider spun 6 and struck out 8, and the Braves win 7-1. And the Braves knocked out
what is essentially the Mets' best starting pitcher right now in Clay Holmes. And he is a good pitcher. He pitched pretty well. He left some things up in the zone. Braves took advantage of it. But as of right now, he would be considered their ace because of the injuries to Kodai Senga. Remember, Sean Manaea hasn't even played yet. So, and I think a lot of Braves are going to point to the fact that they believe that the Mets played the softest strength of schedule to start the year off, and that's true, and they're starting to run into a buzzsaw, and that's true, but I still think the Mets are a good baseball team. It's whether or not they're going to have the depth in the pitching to go the entire 162, because they go to a tough series. We won't dive into that, but they go to a tough series. The Mets do starting today, as they are about to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. What time is that game? 7:15? Yeah, 7:15 in Philadelphia. And when you look at that series, you realize no matter what happens, the Braves are going to gain ground as long as we win games in Miami. You can never expect a sweep, but the Braves have a very good chance of winning the series in Miami. And so right now, Ethan on Facebook is asking, what do we need to do to win between Mets and Phillies? Really, you guys start putting wins together. It's way too early to worry about the overall standings and as far as being able to possibly catch them in the division. We just want to punch our ticket to the postseason, and that very well could be in some form or fashion of going into the wild card. Now, you could honestly see a scenario where the Braves get red hot and they run down both the Phillies and the Mets. But the point is, if they're there at the end, nipping at both of their heels, that's a pretty good chance that they're going to end up in the playoffs. Now, right now, the NL West is leading the charge, but this is a long season, and they're going to start playing each other, and they're going to start eating their own, so to speak. But if you want to look at the overall wild card, I saw some people putting up the wild card last night, and they were wildly wrong about how far back the Braves are. The Braves are only 5.5 back of the wild card. And considering the fact they're just starting to play good baseball, it's very doable that they're going to end up, you're talking about over the next little more than half the season, play 5 games better than the teams in front of them, which are Arizona. They've had their injury issues with pitching. Cincinnati Reds, what they've done has been impressive, but I don't believe it's sustainable over the long haul. Their depth in pitching is eventually going to catch up with them. The Milwaukee Brewers, Braves took 2 or 3 in Milwaukee from them. And although I always respect the Milwaukee Brewers franchise over the last several years because they've done more with less, they are the National League version of the Tampa Bay Rays. Even with that being said, I still believe that you're going to end up with Milwaukee falling short. Cardinals, the same thing. Remember Cardinals had the ridiculous win streak, and then they won several. I don't have the number in front of me, but it was something ridiculous, like 15 of 16 in the middle of that win streak. Cardinals are not going to be sustainable over the long haul. And the Padres and Giants, they're going to play each other along with the Dodgers, and they're going to knock each other off along with the Diamondbacks. So those 4 teams, they're all in front of us. They're going to be beating the hell out of each other. If the Braves just win games, if they just stay in front and win games and take care of their, I know it's a cliche, but take care of their business. If that's what they do, if you look for winning series the rest of the way, the Braves are going to be there in October. And it needed to start last week, and it did. Remember when we went into that Milwaukee series and then off of that into the Rockies series, we talked about the fact that you can never assume a sweep, but you want to win the series. The Milwaukee one, to me, is the catalyst. Now, everyone's going to point to other parts. They're going to point to this Mets series. They're going to say that the Braves really got rolling offensively in the Colorado, whatever. That Milwaukee series was huge because we were on a long losing streak and we were going on the road against a tough opponent who has good pitching, and we found a way to win 2 of 3, and very well could have won all 3 games. But the point is we won 2 of 3. Then we go home to Colorado, win the first 2, and then I felt like offensively we just played with our food again in that Sunday game. They went up against a starter a lot of them hadn't seen or had not seen in a while because of his injury. And I don't think that they had a good approach going into that Sunday game. They bounced back. They started off very slow in the first game of the Mets series, and then the rest is history. The offense really clicked. I like what they're doing with the lineup. Hopefully we see it again tonight. We do these shows at noon Eastern just basically to reach the most people because we're trying to catch you at lunchtime. And we know that when you get off, especially on a Friday at 5 o'clock, you're running around. If you have time to listen to the show, then you can listen to it on the way home on YouTube or maybe fire up our Facebook page or whatnot. But we try to get this to you so that you can get going and get ready for the game. And then, of course, we do replay the audio. But going into tonight's game, I'm really hoping that we see the rest of the way something very similar to what we've been seeing with the lineup, which is Acuna leading off, as always, and the number 2 hitter. And what did I bring this up? 2 months ago, I was beating the desk saying that they needed, I would do it during the games, that they needed to put the left fielder, whoever the hell it is, at the 2 hole. For a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is coming true right now is the fact that in a couple of weeks, Jurickson Profar is going to be added to that lineup, and that's where he's going to hit. So you might as well get the offense used to where they're hitting in the lineup. I'm still not the biggest fan of Riley batting third, but I don't hate it. I'm fine with him batting third. I would like to see Matt Olson get more at-bats more often. So if I was doing it, and I know what they're doing, they're trying to break up the lefty-righty kind of thing, right? Well, here's an idea. If you put Olson in the 3 spot and Riley in the 4 spot, there's nothing wrong with putting the Drake in the 5 spot and Ozuna in the 6. And when Smurf bats, maybe you just flip-flop Murphy and Ozuna. But there would be nothing wrong with that. I want to get more at-bats quicker to Acuna and Matt Olson. Those are going to be the 2 straws that stir this drink the rest of the way. And I like the idea of having Drake hitting right behind or right in front of Ozuna, to be honest with you. You're starting pitcher out there and you see Ozuna standing on deck, you're going to give Drake some pretty good pitches to hit. Right now he's hitting in front of Ozzie, and thankfully Baldwin is a very disciplined hitter, and he's able to do what he does even with Ozzie, who has just been hitting terribly this year, right behind him. If you put Ozuna, if you flip-flop him, Ozuna, he is more than happy to take walks. He looks for his pitches, and he'll hammer them when he gets them. But he's become a very disciplined hitter, much different hitter than he was when he first arrived in Atlanta. I still say Michael Harris should be batting 9th, but I'm okay with him batting 8th. I can live with it. I think Harris should be batting 9th because he's going to get better pitches hitting directly in front of Acuna. And if he gets on base in front of Acuna, then the starting pitcher or the pitcher who on the mound at the time, whether it's the starter or the reliever, then he's got to start worrying about Michael Harris's speed, and that could pay dividends for Acuna. We saw it all throughout the 22 and 23 season. Now, they broke it up a little bit in 23, but in 22, when Harris first came up, he was always hitting 9th. He was getting some great pitches, and he was tearing the cover off the ball. They've gotten away from that. The problem is you can't get the analytic dorks to buy into it, because the analytic dorks are always looking at the number one number, which is hard hit rate, chase rate, and then also they're looking at it as the higher you are in the order, the more bats you're going to get in a game, which is true, but I'd rather get the quality over the quantity, because if you give me Michael Harris in front of Acuna 3 times in a game, because it's going to be tough to get him to 4 every time, but 3 times in a game, I'd be willing to bet that Harris get something really good to hit at least once. The number 8 hitter for years has always been the most difficult place to hit in a lineup because the number 9 hitter usually sucks. Now, years ago, it was the starting pitcher. Now it's guys like Nick Allen. But the reason why it's so difficult to hit in front of those guys is because they don't care if they walk you because they'll take their chances with the next guy. Nick Allen is a perfect number 8 hitter. If we took this all the way back to the days of when the pitcher hit before the DH in the NL, he is very particular what he swings at, and he's willing to work that walk. So to me, it would just absolutely lengthen this line. I think we'll eventually see it, but it takes them so long to get their head out of their ass because the number one thing, they're always looking at just the analytics, and they're not looking at the entire big picture, the 30,000-foot view of what that lineup looks like for a pitcher going into that inning. So anyways, wanted to get that off my chest. We go into this series now. Fuentes couldn't get a whole lot on his repertoire. We'll just have to see what he has when he gets on, because I went to 3 different sites, and they all had different answers. So I really didn't want to get into that. But Fuentes, as far as his numbers, they're not going to blow you away. In fact, in 2025, he had 3 starts at Rome, which is high A. He had a 5.54 ERA. In the AA, he has a 4.98 ERA. And you wonder, like, why does this guy keep getting elevated to the next level? Then he goes to Gwinnett, and he posts. Now, granted, it's just one start. Just one start. He's only had 1 start in AAA. So don't expect the moon and the stars from him tonight. But he goes 4 2/3 and gives up 1 earned run. The 1 earned run was a home run. He had a batting average against in that game of 176. He had a batting average against down on the AAA level of 250, which was much higher than his high A level of 186. But what they love about him is the swing and miss rate. He has a pretty high swing and miss rate, but we'll see if that translates into the major leagues. But the Braves are willing to say, ERA be damned. If we can get swings and misses, we're going to take a chance. Because they're looking at the big picture of, well, if he's got swing and miss, he's going to keep the ball out of play. And though he may give up a home run, and though he may do this and do that poorly, whatever, we like the fact that he's going to bring us strikeouts. We like the fact that there's going to be pitches going on that plate that are not going to be that are not going to be right down the middle. And so in a lot of these things, but I think it's much harder to decipher this on the minor league level than it is on the major league level. A lot of these things they'll look into is the exit velocity, et cetera, and what they'll call lucky hits and all that kind of stuff. I've said this forever. Expected stats are fables. I don't believe in them because what you are is what you are. Back of your baseball card at the end of the year, that's what you are. Don't tell me what it could have been if you hadn't keep hitting it in the defense. Don't tell me what it might have been if the defense played you differently. That ball should have been an out. No, an out is an out. A hit is a hit. Expected stats are fables. They need to put that on my tombstone. Expected stats are fables, and the Braves bullpen sent me here. That needs to be right on my tombstone. Okay. What I do like about him on every stop of the way, and this is these are types of things that I look at, is his whip is pretty low. On the high A level, he was 1.00, which is phenomenal. In the AAA level, he's 1.29. That's not great. But when you look at some of the other stats, like how many strikeouts he had in 24 strikeouts in 21 innings, you do like that. And he only did the 1 stop along the way in AAA, but it was a .64 whip. He went 4 2/3 innings. He gave it 3 hits, One of them was a home run. That was the lone run that he gave up. And in those 4 2/3, he did have 6 strikeouts. Now, what's that going to look like tonight? I think it's going to be kind of comparable, because I'm telling you right now, the Miami Marlins roster is very close to what you would see at a AAA level. They have a few hitters that can still hit, but they've traded away a lot of their studs, and that's Marlins baseball. They're constantly trying to rifle through the high-end guys, send them elsewhere, get prospects, because they don't get fan support, and the fan support is what we're talking about. See the acknowledgement of the double bubble thing up there on the that's the only reason why I got that damn thing, was for good luck. When I saw them putting it on their head on the post game walk-offs, the double bubble, I went out and got one. I think it was the very next day, and I've been trying to chew through that the entire time. But anyways, that sucker up there is empty. But yeah, that'll stay there for the rest of the season. When we were doing the post game shows, I ended up putting it on one of them, but we quit doing the post game shows because with everything else going on, it's just too much. Probably, if we get to the postseason, we'll be doing post game shows. If we have like a big win where like we've clinched a playoff spot, we'll probably do a post game show. But those have been put to the wayside till further notice. And we will be jumping on TikTok and Facebook for those as well. But Fuentes, to me, it's a very interesting start tonight. I do believe it is just a one-off, because there's no way. Let's say the kid pitches lights out and goes 7 innings tonight and strikes out 10 and no earns, and let's go. The Braves, the next 7 games are at the Mets after this series, and at home against the Phillies. They're not going to put Dieter Fuentes, they're not going to put Diddy against the Mets or the Phillies when they're trying to run them down. It could just ruin that kid's psyche. Can you imagine starting him in New York and he gets just pelted? No way in hell. And they're not going to put him, I don't care if it is a start at home against Philadelphia. They're just not going to freaking do it. What you could do is send him down and run it back again. And the week of the 4th of July, I know they play Baltimore, though Baltimore's offense is still pretty good. And that could be a real option. It's not likely, but that could be an option. You could see them bring him back up maybe one more time before the end of the All-Star break, or before the All-Star break. The other option would be is at home against the Angels. So you could see him in one of those starts if you wanted to. If they're trying to build the starting lineup a certain way, you could see that happening. They don't have another day off until a week from Monday, but that's going to play out fine the way they have it set up. And I saw someone talking about whether or not they would keep him up. You can't keep him up because you'd be carrying 6 starting pitchers. So you would send him back down and you would go grab a reliever. By the way, I hit the nail on the head yesterday. Who did they release? Ruiz. They never want to see that guy ever again. The idea that we lost Scott Blewett and Craig Kimbrell for that bum is just absolutely dumbfounding, and everybody in the front office should be held accountable for that. I would like to see one person in the Braves media press Anthopoulos and say, what the hell were you doing? Because there was no reason. You just kicked his ass. You just kicked 2 guys that could have been pieces in the bullpen for a hot minute to the curb for that bum. So anyways, thankfully he's gone. I don't want to see, hopefully someone picks him up. I don't want to see him in a Braves uniform ever again. I'm convinced he was a Philadelphia Phillies spy. He just came from the Phillies. To hell with that guy. I'm out. Jansen Junk, by the way, is the starter tonight for the Miami Marlins. And he's been pretty interesting because he doesn't go long into games, but he's been pretty good. I mean, the guy's got an ERA of 2.78 and a whip of 1.01, which means all indications he's going to be tough to hit. And he's only going to go about 4 or 5 innings in all likelihood, unless the Braves do the thing they do where they try to ambush every pitch. And the next thing you know, we're in the 6th inning and he's at 52 pitches. But hopefully they get him out of the way. I mean, he was a 22nd round pick from the New York Yankees in 2017, and somehow the Miami Marlins have turned him into a viable starter. But he's the starter in tonight's game, and tonight's game's a true toss-up because we really just don't know what to expect from Fuentes. But if the Braves offense can go from what they've done in these past couple of series and carry that into tonight, we should win the game. But once again, big question mark. Now, the huge positive is our bullpen is well rested. We swept the Mets and didn't hardly have to use any of our big guns. So that was huge. And now we go into this series, and tomorrow's game is going to be Grant Holmes, Yuri Perez. They jumped Holmes over Elder, and if you wonder why, because that was my first question, was like, what the hell are they doing? Well, then I thought about it. They're pinching Grant Holmes tomorrow because he would line up on regular rest Thursday, which is Game 4 of the Mets series. And then Bryce Elder is going to pitch on Sunday, which lines him up in Game 1 against the Phillies. But if you remember, he pitched pretty well against the Phillies this year. And we won't go into that series and how that breaks down, but basically you're going to have Elder taking the ball for Game 1 of the Phillies series and Grant Holmes Game 4 of the Mets series. In the Mets series, though they're both important because of where they're both basically neck and neck in the standings, the Mets series is looked upon as more important, A, because you play it before them, but B, it's a 4-game series on the road, which usually kicks your bullpen in the grapes. So they wanted to put their best foot forward. They did not need one of the guys struggling, we'll say Spencer Strider in Game 3 of the Mets series, okay? He goes out, he doesn't have what he had because he's still going through the rehab thing, da-da-da-da-da. And you have to go grab your bullpen, and then Bryce Elder takes the ball the next day, and he implodes, and you got to get him out in the second inning. So that's why they did that. So Grant Holmes goes tomorrow against Yuri Perez, who they've been high on in the past. He's got a high ERA. To top it off, the Braves have just absolutely pelted him. So I do believe that tomorrow's game, I'm not going to say, none of these games are buckets because it's baseball and momentum is today's starting pitcher. But you like your chances in Saturday's game. And then Sunday's game is Bryce Elder versus Alcantara. This makes me a little nervous because Grant Holmes has been better than Elder, and Alcantara, though he has struggled this year, his last time out didn't look too bad. Last couple times out, he's looked like he's turning it around. He's got a 6.88 ERA, but remember, he's coming off Tommy John, and a lot of that is him still trying to find his touch. That's going to be a dicey one. So to win this series in Miami, we've got to win one of the dicey ones. Is Elder going to go out there and pitch well on Sunday? I think he will. He'll have 9 days in between starts, and I think he'll be well rested. And also, he will have been able to kind of work on some things on the extra days of rest that you don't get to work on when you just have your normal start periods. But Alcantara has usually pitched well against the Braves. So, is Alcantara back, or do we dodge that bullet one more time and we'll see him next time? So there you have that. That's the series in a nutshell. I think there's more likely that the Braves win 2 out of 3 than there is a sweep. You want a sweep. You'd love a sweep, but I'm not banking on a sweep. It's just because when you've got a rookie pitching tonight and you've got Elder and his question marks pitching on Sunday against, if we lose the lottery and Alcantara goes out there and looks like he did before the Tommy John surgery, that guy can go out there and spend 7-8 shutty, and we're sitting there going, crap, we're down 4-0, and we're going into the 9th inning. Like, he has that kind of stuff. I don't believe that's where he's going to be at, but he has started to show signs of being better. All right, let's go ahead and get to some of the answers. Robert's just hoping and praying over here. Let me see. Mac, what are our chances of you calling another game like the past 3 games tonight? I don't know what you mean. And we're calling all 3 of the games this weekend. see if there's any questions or comments. Good to see everybody in the YouTube chat. It's harder for me to see the ones on the X chat, but hello to everybody in the in TikTok and on Facebook. And let me see here. What do we have? I think a lot of people are just saying hi to each other or whatnot. Let me see if there's any updates on this. Robert thinks the Braves are going to sweep. I don't know. We'll see. If the problem is you still have a manager that says he doesn't like to chase wins. So when games get sideways, there's a very good chance that he just punts it and wants to make sure that we're going to win the series. And that when it's all said and done, that's the big thing. We want to win the series. And they're also going to be looking at the big picture that the next week they have 4 games in New York and 3 at home against Philly. And they'd love to win 5 out of 7. They would take 4 out of 7. But they want to make sure that they don't lose next week. In other words, lose the Mets series, meaning losing 3 out of 4, or lose the Philly series, losing 2 out of 3. We want to at least split in New York and win the series at home against the Phillies. By the way, there was news that came out today that Aaron Nola has been switched to the 60-day IL. So no chance of him showing back up for the series against the Braves. And this is a side note. This has nothing to do with Braves. But did y'all see the call that Marvin Hudson made yesterday? Maybe I'll pull it up on tonight's pregame show or during the game, where that ball hit in the strike zone. And what was made it so maddening, it wasn't just that he blew a strikeout call for Yamamoto against the Padres. It was the fact that that pitch, had it been called a strike, was going to complete an immaculate inning. He had struck out the first 2 batters on 3 strikes, and that would have been a called strike 3. And when I say that ball was in the middle of the damn zone, I'm talking about if this is the top of the zone and this is the side of the zone, the ball was basically right here. And it was so bad that even the corporate announcers were going, what the hell? You know, I would have been ballistic. That would have been like Chris Sale to an immaculate inning, and Marvin Hudson's back there yucking it up and calling and just blowing the call. And we've had Marvin Hudson quite a few times this year. I haven't even been able to find out who the umpires are this weekend. God, I hope. But the good news is it wouldn't be Marvin Hudson because he would have just called the game last night. So we're talking about he's not going to be due up again until Monday. But this guy, it was such a bad call in such a big moment. Bare minimum, he should be suspended for the weekend. Bare minimum. It was that bad. And I know we're all ready for the ABS. I see a lot of people online, they'll make the comments about the robot umpires because they think it's going to be some kind of AI version of a robot saying it's a ball, it's a strike on every pitch. That's not what it is, because the umpires union is never going to agree to that because they don't want to be out of a job, which is essentially what they would do. They would all be out of a job back behind home plate. And it would eventually work to where they could just get rid of all the damn umpires. But the ABS system is a challenge system where a batter can challenge a strike or a pitcher or a catcher. It has to come from one of the 3 involved in the play. It can't come from the dugout, so they can't look at it on instant replay and, none of that. Because they don't want to slow up the game where you're constantly going, do you want to challenge that or do you not want to challenge that? But you get 2, and I mean, that was just unbelievably bad. But I had to mention that because that was just unbelievably bad. By the time the game starts tonight, I'll forget to bring it up during the ball game. Once again, pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves right here on Braves Country Radio. We do every game, and we have a fun chat in the YouTube. If you're catching it in other venues, I would highly suggest that you catch it in the YouTube. We welcome all fans. Does not matter if you're a Marlins fan tonight or if you're Phillies or Mets fan pulling for Miami because you want to see the Braves lose because you're pulling for your team. It's all about fun in baseball. We just ask that you be nice to each other. And other than that, that's it. But But we'll see you tonight. 7:10 first pitch. A little later than what it normally is in Miami. Typically, Miami does 6:40, but it's 7:10 tonight. And I would expect, the way the weather has been in Florida, the way it's really starting to heat up, and if you think you're hot elsewhere, you're really not. I would think that the lid will be closed on the dome all weekend. All right, y'all have a great day, Braves country, and hopefully we get to see something fun tonight with the debut of the youngest man in baseball, Didier Fuentes, the fountain of youth, baby. Hey, Braves country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Before we get started tonight, have a couple of clips for you. First, let's hear from Matt Olson, who's the hero of last night's game.
Matt, tell me about that at bat with the bases loaded. Yeah, I mean, he's got a good changeup. He's got some good bite on it. He's struggling to find the zone a little bit, and got that one strike over. So, wanted to look for something in the zone, get it off the ground, no double plays, and was able to squeak it down the corner.
This season's had some heartbreak these first couple of months. How good did it feel for you to come through in that spot and help your team clinch a sweep over the Mets?
Yeah, it's good. I think just as a general, I was talking to you the other day, we're able to get a couple more knocks in some big situations with runners in scoring position. I think it's been the difference for us lately.
And then before I let you go, back in the fourth inning, you score from second. Are you fast?
No. Good angles.
And then this is the post-game presser with Spencer Strider.
I'm sure for myself, speaking for myself, and then I'm sure for everybody else, it's just reassuring to go out and, have some, justification for the work you've been doing, and that belief that we've had this whole time that we can play better baseball. And so now the challenge is to continue to do it, obviously. So it doesn't get easier from here. And I think that the idea would be that the struggles we've had up to this point and whatever we might encounter for the rest of the season is all in preparation for what we're ultimately trying to accomplish, and it's going to make us better. And we've just got to continue to believe that and keep working.
How good does it feel to be part of a rotation that's really starting to click? Each time the guys going out, going 6, 7, last night 8 2/3 innings, but to really put you guys in a good position to win.
Yeah, we are a tight group, and there's a lot of confidence between those guys, for sure.
After battling the first 2-3 innings, if anything sort of changed or clicked the last half of the outing for you?
I don't know. I think fastball command was fine first time through the order. Just a couple of sequencing things that I probably could have done better, and then maybe a couple execution with the fastball that I suppose could have been a little better, but I'll take my chances with attacking in the zone, and it's definitely a change I've been wanting to make, especially early in the game, is just trying to set the tone in the zone, and stupid as that sounds, it rhymes, and kind of build from there.
How much do you and Drake work on that during the game?
Yeah, we're getting better at it. He's phenomenal. Him and Sean too. Not having Salfasano on the bench this year, it's been a little different for us, and so for those guys especially. And Eddie's been great, but it's just a different dynamic, and they're obviously having to work together. And he and Sean and Travis were such a great group or tandem, and so I think for Drake and Sean, just to kind of learn what each other needs throughout the course of a game, and kind of be each other's coach and guide, when that's necessary. Seeing them kind of improve through that process has been fun, and it's obviously been good for us.
17 whiffs with the slider Saturday, 14 today. That reaction from hitters telling you, just validating your belief that the stuff is getting there.
Yeah, I think that even in some of my previous outings, the stuff wasn't necessarily what was holding me back, execution and just consistency. And, the shape of the slider has been pretty good. I think it's just, attacking and making hitters swing. I think you talk to any pitcher, that's kind of the goal. It's step one is making guys swing, and then everything plays off that. So if guys are getting in the box, they're super comfortable and they're able to sit there and take and see what they, try to wait till they get what they want, then it's going to be tough. You're going to be in a bad spot a lot of times. So, just understanding what my strengths are and then trying to be as consistent in attacking with what those are.
On that note, how big is it to have that pitch in your back pocket while you're still working with that fastball?
Yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, the fastball they kind of play together, I guess, is the best way of saying it. So, like I said, if guys aren't swinging, then the sliders, no matter how good it is not really going to play. So, I've got to, with whatever my fastball looks like, it's got to be in the zone and it's got to put guys on their heels.
That's I guess 2 straight starts now. It feels like the velocity's been back at the level that you're accustomed to, or at least closer to it. I'm curious, did you feel like you found something, maybe going into that start against Colorado in the bullpen, or the weight? I know you're talking about moving more efficiently. Did you feel like you unlocked something?
Yeah, there's been improvement for sure. Just really diving in on biomechanics, and I feel like I've built such a large database for these types of moments. Rehab of an injury being one of the biggest ones is you're trying to build yourself from a starting point into, the best version of yourself. And so having science and resources and data at your disposal to do that is critical. And I think that the difficult part in season can be that, change doesn't happen that fast. And you have this small window start to try to make adjustments. And a lot of guys will get very hesitant to change anything and commit to a long-term plan and kind of accept what might occur on the way there. So I've had to do that before in my career, and so I was prepared for it, and I knew that was going to be a part of this rehab process. And doesn't mean that I'm on a perfect trajectory upwards, but by any means. But just knowing that change takes time and improvement takes time, and you've got to stick on the path. You can't get discouraged.
So just to be clear, you're saying this instance would be you committing to a long-term plan and sticking with it, or would it be you made some changes?
Well, I think both. I've been on a process this whole time. I didn't come back and make my first start in Toronto thinking like, all right, this is what I am is what I am. I was always planning to get better, and I think on the short term, what that looks like and what obstacles I'm presented with, and then what resources and specific information I've got to draw upon kind of presents itself. So like we talked about, I think it was in San Francisco, just some of the timing and the, some of the movement pattern stuff, being able to see overlays on biomechanical analysis. And like I said, that I've built a database with, and to know what I look like at my best and then compared to what I'm moving like right now. And then literally to have a, quantified value of how far off I am from an ideal movement pattern gives you both the confidence to know that you're never as good as bad as you think you are. You're much closer. And 2, this is now the process. You can see a process of achieving the change you're looking for to try to make that improvement.
All right, time to get you set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Best way to win a series is to win that first one. Let's get it, Braves country.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! Bring your green hat. Let's go. Come on, everybody, we're going! Woo! Come on! We're streaking! Woo! We're streaking! We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Streaking. Get in the car.
Everybody's doing it.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live as the Braves are on the road. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off for your Atlanta Braves, in right field, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. 8 home runs, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .376. Batting second, playing left, Alex Verdugo. 11 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .251. Austin Riley, batting third, playing third. 11 home runs, 37 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .274. Matt Olson is batting cleanup, playing first. 15 home runs, 48 RBI, a .256 clip. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 11 home runs, 39 RBI, batting .253. Ozzie Albies batting sixth at second base. 6 home runs, 27 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .228. Sean Murphy is back behind home plate, batting seventh. 9 home runs, 21 RBI, a .219 average. Batting eighth, and in center field, Michael Harris II. 6 home runs, 41 RBI, 10 stolen base, batting .226. Nick Allen batting ninth and at short with 13 RBI, 6 stolen bases, and a .230 average. On the mound for the Atlanta Braves, Didier Fuentes. His major league debut, but he does have a high swing and miss rate, so we'll see how he fares tonight going head-to-head versus Jansen Junk, who's 1-0 with a 2.78 ERA, 1.01 whip, a 22 2/3 innings, grabbing 20 strikeouts, giving up 21 hits, and he is yet to give a home run up in 2025. Backing up Jansen Junk in the bottom of the first inning, leading off and playing second base, Xavier Edwards. He's batting .284, 15 RBI, 12 stolen bases. Batting second, playing right, Jesus Sanchez. 7 home runs, 28 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .251. Lopez is at short and batting third. He has 6 home runs, 25 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .230. Batting cleanup behind home plate, Ramirez has 10 home runs, 23 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .234. Stowers is in left field and batting fifth. He has 10 homers, 34 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .272. Myers is in center field and batting sixth. .328 on the year with 4 home runs, 19 RBI, 8 stolen bases. Hicks is at first and batting seventh. He has 4 home runs, 25 RBI, a .275 clip. Norby is batting eighth and at third. 4 home runs, 28 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .342. And Hernandez is the designated hitter and batting ninth. He has a .366 average through 41 at-bats. 1 home run, 3 RBI. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Lance Barksdale. Your first base umpire, Will Little. Second base will be manned by John Bacon. Down the third base line, it's Ryan Addington. Game time temperatures tonight at first pitch here at Lone Depot Park, 86 degrees. Expect the roof to be covered. They rarely play the dome open when it's that warm. If they do have it open, the wind is going left to right into left field bleachers at about 9 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 145 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. Our pick to click, not a whole lot to go off of, so we're just going to go with our instinct. In Miami, Marcell Ozuna rakes, and we're going to take the Big Zoo to go bonzo tonight, and the Braves continue the winning streak 7-4. Keys to the game tonight, Fuentes has a 4.81 ERA and a 1.119 whip. But in his start in Gwinnett, he went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 1 run, 3 hits. One of those hits was the solo shot that put the run on the board. But if you go back to his numbers last year in the minor leagues, 2024, 75 innings and an ERA of 3.33 and a whip of 1.01. Last year, 98 strikeouts versus 75 pitches. So very impressive numbers last year. You just don't know what you're going to get from him this year. With all that being said, the keys to the game tonight for the Braves is how well does Fuentes pitch. You'll notice we've already given him the nickname, the Fountain of Youth, youngest pitcher to start a game since 2016 when Julio Urias did at the age of 19. Fuentes just turned 20 years old a few days ago. Fuentes means fountain in Spanish, and he's the youngest player, so I gave him the nickname the Fountain of Youth. We gave him an emoji, and hopefully he does well and we see him more this year. I expect this to be a spot start, and then he gets sent right back down after the game, because after this start, the Braves, the next time he would come up for his turn to pitch would be against either the Mets or the Phillies, and I don't see that happening. The other big key on the game tonight is obviously the starting pitcher of the Miami Marlins. 6'2" right-hander Jansen Junk, 29-year-old, who this year has a 2.78 ERA through 5 starts, just 22 innings. He has a lifetime ERA of 5.31, and it should be noted that in the games that he has played in this year, he hasn't really gone up against a big-time offense. He did face the Angels to start the year off and pitched well, but that was way back in May, and of course they had never seen him before. Outside of that, he's faced San Francisco, who's a good team but not a good offense, Colorado, Pittsburgh, and Washington. So is he a guy who's turned the corner in his career, or has he just been going up against weak competition? We'll find out tonight. If the Braves can keep Fuentes in it by scoring some early runs and giving him some confidence, we might see the Fountain of Youth go all the way through the 5th inning. I suspect it's more likely we're going to see him in a capacity of about 4 innings, 2 times through the lineup type of thing. And then if he's pitching really well, they'll see how far he can go. If not, they'll go and grab him. But I would think that the goal is to get him through the lineup twice and then turn it over to some of the mid-relief guys like a De Los Santos. If there's a lead, if you're behind, it could be a Rafael Montero. And then bridge that to the back of the bullpen, see where you are at the late innings of the game. But regardless, it ought to be a fun night. I can't wait to see this kid pitch. I've never really seen him before. Saw 2 minor league games that he's pitched in the past, but not set down for an entire ball game. So I'm interested to see not only what does his stuff look like against major league hitters, but how does he bounce back through adversity, et cetera, et cetera. And I haven't seen him in several weeks, so he could be a totally different pitcher than when I saw him from the beginning. So I'm going in with this an open mind, a blank slate, and hopefully the Braves will score some runs to help the youngster out. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves Country. Just a quick heads up. The way I am streaming this so I can bring this to you, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work one way, so we may have to flip it. So if there's a delay in the beginning, relax. We'll get the 3D kicking at some point. But there's no way for me to check it pre-game. It just is what it is. All right. Good to see you, Uncle Charlie, Neil Pearson, Timmy Panel. What you talking about, Willis, John, Adam Batman Westbury, Kumar, Leighton Nuku, that's the first time I've seen you in here. Welcome in, Leighton. Braden Quinn. Bet you get a lot of Brady Quinn comments. Addison. Russell Hall. SS Dub. King James Hagan. B.A. Baracus, Brian Andrews. Neil Pearson. Addison. Mark Ricky Ricardo. Tree Nug. '87. Gary the Real McCoy in the house tonight. About to see a fun one with this rookie. George Pearson and Neil Pearson. Pearson boys running things. Peter, there you are. Figured you were in here somewhere. Charlie Elrod, Oswaldo Perez, Freedom, Israel, good to see you. Daryl Little and your other brother Daryl. Ryan Nielsen ratings. Stein Life. We're coming to the end. I think that's just about it. If I missed you, throw a what's up in the chat. We'll get to you on the other side of the break. We'll be back in a flash. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Adventures in Time and Space.
We offer you
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball, no more measles, and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves country.
This is a reminder. Disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Okay, Braves country. Last time we did the Marlins, we had some funny things happen, so let's see what happens here. We're waiting for the first pitch, and once we get the first pitch going, I should be able to figure it out, if nothing else, at the break. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Set for 7:10 first pitch, still waiting for them to come on board here as your Atlanta Braves. Wearing their home grays. We're going to wait for the pitches to get started here because here it goes. Okay. Thought we were gonna have some issues, but it looks like we can do it the old-fashioned way, so I'll go ahead and get it started. Miami just always has issues. Well, did I speak too soon? May have spoke too soon, so we'll go back to the original. Not how we normally start these off, but they're doing some funny games here. Marlins are in their home blacks, white pants, Braves gray top to bottom. Yes, sir! It is baseball time in Braves country, and the first pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is a check swing slider down the line. It's 0-1. As soon as we get it fixed, we'll get it out there to you. It may be coming in right about now. The 0-1 check swing down the line. Foul. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. There we go. Never fear. We figured out the trick. 0-2 count. Ronald Acuna Jr. in the box. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way. 95 up top just misses. Jansen Junk, it's 1-2. What you'll see from Jansen Junk today is a 5-pitch mix. He has a 4-seam fastball, and slider. He throws those two at about 72% of the time. The 1-2 to Acuna, inside 94, 2-2. Curveball 12% of the time, the sweeper 10, and then a changeup at 7. So he has the one hard pitch, which is the fastball, and the rest, junk is a junk pitcher. The 2-2. Swing, that ball's rattled foul down the right field line. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Sorry about the bumpy beginning, but these things happen when we are in Miami or Tampa. The 2-2. Outside wide. Full count. Full count to Acuna. The only guys who have seen junk in their entire career is Doogie, who's 2 for 2, Allen, who drew a walk, and Murphy, who's 1 for 2. The payoff pitch. Swing! That ball's sizzled down the right field line, but foul and out of play. We'll do it again. The rookie went and did another deep dive on some of his videos. He's got pretty good stuff. We might see a few strikeouts tonight. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Speaking of strikeouts, slider was right in the heart of the plate. Acuna just mistimed it. He was well out in front of that one. Our best wishes go out to Ron Washington. Actually, looking at that again, Acuna was a tick behind it on the slider. He must have been sitting on like a curveball. Ron Washington out indefinitely due to health concerns. The first pitch on the way to Verdugo is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. No, we do not know what those health concerns are. Nobody does. It's his business, not ours. But we do wish him well. Everybody still loves Ron in Braves country. The 1-0 to Verdugo is a 93-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer edge. It's 1-0. Just saw a Ramon Laureano sighting and Max Fried going head-to-head in the background of the Baltimore Yankees game. The 1-1 misses high, 2-1, 87-mile-an-hour. They check down the line, but Addington says no dice. 2-1 count. Verdugo batting .251. 622 OPS. Pitch on the way. Outside corner. Gets it. Evens up the count, 2-2. Standing on deck is Austin Riley. The defense looks like this tonight for the Marlins. Left to right in the outfield, it's Stowers, Myers, and Sanchez. And around the horn from third to first, Narby, Lopez, Edwards, and Hicks. Ramirez behind the plate. Junk on the hill. The 2-2. Swing, chops it. Over to second. Should be an easy 4-3 put out. It is. 2 away. Looking forward to seeing the Fountain of Youth hit the hill tonight. I'm sure a lot of y'all are too. Just realize he has not gone deep in many of his outings. So I'm thinking around, if we get 5 innings out of him, we'll be leaping for joy. Somewhere between 4 and 5 is probably what's expected. If he goes 6, we'll be dancing in the streets. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is a swing and a miss on the slider. It's 0-1. With nobody have seen Jansen junk, I would say it's going to be pretty slow in the early going against him. Crafty veteran is the 0-1. Outside wide 1-1. Doesn't have blow-you-away stuff, but when you've never seen a pitcher before, usually takes an adjustment. Second or third time through the lineup, the Braves should start hitting him. 1-1 count. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky over by the first base side, giving chases the first baseman. Hicks, but it'll bounce into the stands, 1-2. On deck is Matt Olson. One-two count. Riley. I was surprised to see that he's batting .197 his last 30 games at Lone Depot Park. It seems like the Braves always rake here, but I guess the rake does not. The 1-2. Swing. Pops it back foul. We'll do it again. With that being said, it's very alarming they didn't put Ozuna up at the 3 spot, because this is his home away from home. If you remember back in 2022, he turned things around in this stadium, going bonkers, and the rest was history. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one down around his shoelaces, and that'll end the inning. Braves go down in order. We'll grab Didier Fuentes. When we come back, the Fountain of Youth begins.
What would you do if we broke up?
I'd get back with my ex.
You get back with your ex?
Yeah.
Your ex?
Yes.
That you're broken up with? I thought you had bad blood with your ex.
No.
Honey? Darling?
No.
No bad blood, though? So you just jump right back in a relationship with them, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Seems like the most logical thing to do. Maybe I'd get back with my ex, too. Why not?
Why wouldn't you get back with your ex?
There's a lot of reasons I wouldn't get back with my ex. I thought you had 100 reasons why you wouldn't get back with yours either, but here you go, saying you're going straight back to your ex if we ever break up. So should we break up now? Am I holding you back from something that you want?
I would just get back together with my ex.
I understand. You said that, first thing.
How is that? Is that the wrong answer?
I think it's very eye-opening. I guess I can't say it's the wrong answer. It's just interesting.
You're my ex. We'd be broken up.
So you'd get back together with me?
Yes.
Well, I guess that would be really sweet, so.
Our next shortstop also spent his entire career with just one team, the Reds' Barry Larkin.
He was the guy that you worried about. Not only could he beat you with a big base hit, he could beat you certainly with a big home run.
How many ways can he beat you? With the glove, with the legs, and tonight with the bat.
He could go the other way, he could hit and run, he could hit for power. He was one of those special players that when they talk about a 5-tool player, that's Barry.
Here's a guy, Barry Larkin, had all the tools, but Barry did what he had to do to win. Very good and underrated defensive player.
There's that acrobatic athleticism by Barry Larkin.
He was a shortstop that was very athletic, had a lot of range.
And a backhand stop by Larkin, threw him out with a dandy play.
But having said that, he was still a guy that offensively was able to put up big numbers, and that wasn't a combination you saw very much.
He's the first 30-30 shortstop in the history of Major League Baseball.
Barry Larkin won more Silver Sluggers than any other player at his position. He had to be pretty good.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Fountain of Youth, Didier Fuentes. I'm sure a lot of y'all will be calling him Diddy. We've given him the moniker of the Fountain of Youth. Once again, Fuentes means fountain. And he's the youngest player since 2019. First pitch on the way, and his career begins in Major League Baseball. It's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Fuentes. He's wearing number 75 today. It's 1-0. Pitch was high and out of the zone. 1-0. 94 well outside. Ball 2-2-0. I'm sure the jitters are there. 2-0 count. Swing. That ball's hammered down the right field line, but foul. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Bottom of the first inning. Infield back and to the right. The 2-1 pitch to Edwards. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, called for a strike. We'll take it. It's 2-2. Man, that is a wide strike zone. Wonder if old Marvin Hudson was back there. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. They have 3-1 on the screen. I don't believe that's right now. I'm having to watch it from the Miami Marlins FanDuel, so there they go. They straighten it up. The 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing, chops it down the line. Foul once again into the first base. Towards the ball boy down there on the first base line. Fuentes from Colombia. The 2-2. Swing. Hits it high and deep into left field. Drifting over, making the catch is Verdugo for out number 1. So Fuentes is officially in the books in the major leagues, and now maybe he can calm down. 20-year-old kid, 6 foot. They got him listed at 170. He looks a little bigger than that. He's 0 for 7 this year. Now that's the strangest part of him being called up. But he's got the swing and miss stuff, and that's what the Braves care about. And he had a really good 2024. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Sanchez. Misses high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. 1-0. Swing, rips it over towards out. A line drive. That ball was scalded. It came back to the camera. L6 in your scorecard, 2 down. I don't know if I've ever seen that angle before on a ball coming off. And once again, I'm seeing this from the Miami feed. But it was strange. It almost can't look like it was coming into your living room. I guess that's just the way they have their camera well set up. First pitch on the way to the right-handed bat of Lopez is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. What you'll see from Didier tonight is a 4-seam, a sinker, a slider, and a split. The 0-1 swung on, chops it over to Riley. Riley has it, flips it over to Olsen, pulls him off the bag. But Olsen looked like he made the tag. They called him safe, and I don't see an argument from Olsen. So he must have missed the tag. Lopez has very good speed. Oh, yeah, he missed it. Lopez has very good speed, and the throw was up the line from Riley. Man, when you got a rookie on the mound like that, you've got to be stronger at your defensive game. Across the board, they got to be there for him today. It was kind of a looping throw that faded off to Riley's right, Olsen's left at the end of the throw. First pitch on the way is a fastball well off the plate. It's 1-0. Ramirez the batter. So E5 in your scorecard on Riley. Another error on Austin Riley. He's going to flip it over to first, keep the runner close by. That's how the Marlins score their runs. They will run on you. Ramirez batting .234 on the year. Digs in the first pitch. Swing, rips it down the third base line over to Riley. This time he makes the throw, and that'll end the inning. So we dodge the error, and we'll be back in a flash. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing here in Miami.
If anyone sees me in a bathing suit this summer, mind your business. I like to eat.
So is cheesecake a cake or a pie?
It's the cheesecake. It's cheesecake.
Obviously, it's a pie. That's why they call it cheesecake, because it's a pie.
That ain't none of them words in that sentence match none of the other ones.
The funny part is, it's neither a cake or a pie. It's a freaking tart.
It is not a tart.
It is a tart.
Not a tart. Crumbled or crust or something that's created into a bowl, and then the filling goes in the top. But not all cheesecakes are made like that.
I've seen the women you date. You would definitely be an expert on what's
all
crusty.
Cheese.
Well, then what is a freaking hot dog?
A hot dog is a taco.
No, it's no. A hot dog is a
rebuke
sandwich.
that.
That is a sandwich.
There is bread on 3 sides. If you imagine a cube, so 6 total sides. If there's bread on 3 sides, it's a taco.
Ooh, I love
Unless
Philly
the bread is
cheesesteaks.
completely taken apart. If it's 2 pieces of bread, then it's a sandwich.
Okay, hold
Did you
on.
call a Philly cheesesteak a taco?
Hold on, I got
If the bread is still together, like a hoagie, where it's got a hinge on it, like they do at Subway, those are tacos.
I don't like this. I don't. No.
Okay, so
No.
If I split my hot dog bun all the way down on that backside right there, and then I put the bread on top of the bread, that makes it a sandwich.
Yes.
But if I don't split the bread, the is a taco?
Yes. I don't make the rules, I just make them up as I go along.
Armchair.
There's a lot of wonderful stillness in baseball that I love. Many seconds of stillness. When the pitcher has got the sign, the batter is crouched, the ball players all lean forward with their hands on their knees, and then very shortly the ball is delivered. But in that tiny period when the pitch and the fever of the crowd is tangible, there's a moment of absolute stillness that I treasure.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson. is a curveball. Misses low. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-0 from Junk. Sweeper on the outer edge, 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing, chops it down the first base line, 1-2. Olson sitting at 15 home runs, 48 RBI, and 849 OPS. Infield is back and to the right. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jansen's blowing Junk by him left and right. 1 away. Once again, this first time through the order, I'm not expecting the moon and stars from the Braves offense from a guy they've never seen before. And it appears that he's kind of straightened himself out. One of the things I read about on a scouting report from years before is that he was constantly struggling with command, and it looks like he's pretty good at it right now. The first pitch on the way to the Big Zoo is below the knees, but called for a low strike 1, 0-1. Marcel, 11 home runs, 39 RBI, a 799 OPS. Righty-righty, the 0-1. High and inside, close shave. 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing, lifts it high and deep into right field. Plenty of time. Gets underneath it. 2 down. F9 on your scorecard. Two down. Ozzie Albies the batter. Open stance from the left side. First pitch on the way. Takes a bender. Misses high. Top of the zone. It's 1-0. Baltimore leads the Yankees, 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Mets and Phillies are scoreless. The 1-0. Swing, fouls it straight back. 1-1. They are in Philadelphia for that series, in case you haven't paid attention. 1-1 count. Junk brings it. Swing. Fouls it back. It did not escape me that the pitching matchup tonight is Diddy versus Junk. Make your own jokes. We're on external radio. I got to keep it clean. The 1-2. Swing. That ball's hit right to the right side. Hard hit, but right at the second baseman, and that'll end the inning. 4-3. Xavier Edwards to Hicks. Braves 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the second. 0-0.
That's why you fat. Look at you, greedy. No, you can have it. You can have it. You got it, brother. You thought it was some snacks in there? You can go ahead and take it. It's a big box for a big back. Come on and get it. I know you need it.
I think I was confused, bro.
I think you hungry. And people act abnormal when they hungry. You seen a Snickers commercial. Come on and get you his little box. Don't try to run either. I don't want you to have an asthma attack on my porch.
I don't live too far.
I know you ain't walking far. I know you ain't walking far. You ain't got to tell me. Go ahead and get it. Big bag, big bag. You too big to be a thief. Come on and get it. At this point, I just want you to get the steps in. You never know, it could be some workout equipment in there.
Number 7.
Well, I think Derek Jeter's got to be right up there as one of the top shortstops of all time. You have a guy that has leadership qualities playing that position. It really makes him stand above a lot of other players.
He's the glue to the clubhouse. He's the captain, obviously, of the Yankees. And, that's a quality that you don't see in many players.
And he's the only man to be named MVP of both the All-Star Game and the Fall Classic in the same year.
He's got great talent. He can run, he can throw, and he can hit.
He's a heavy machine.
He will not be a guy that will hit you, 40, 50 home runs in a year, but he will hit you one, when it really counts.
He has always been consistently excellent, and he seems to be at his best when it matters most.
Derek Jeter comes through in the clutch, and the Yankees have tied the game in the ninth inning.
He epitomizes the concept of intangibles.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. First pitch from the Fountain of Youth here to start the second is swung on and lifted high and deep into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Extra bases. And Stowers will cruise into second base for a leadoff double. He's leaving a lot of pitches high in the zone. That's going to be a disaster if he doesn't get that straightened out. If you're wondering why they chose him over other options, I really think it just came down to the fact that he's 20. They expect him to be in the big leagues sometime in the next year or so. He had 3 options. He might as well get his beak wet. But this is going to be a very tough game to win, no doubt. First pitch on the way, 96, misses the zone. 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. 96 on the outer edge. 1-1. Dane Myers, the batter, 328 average, 4 home runs, 19 RBI, 849 OPS. I was surprised to see so many good batting numbers on the Marlins. The 1-1 swing, fouls it away. 1-2. Typically, what it's holding them back is the inability to hit the ball, but they've gotten some pretty good numbers out of their batters top to bottom this year. 1-2 count. Swing, pops it back foul, we'll do it again. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow night, 4:10, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. 4:10 first pitch. Then it's a 1:40 first pitch on Sunday. Tomorrow is Holmes. Sunday, Bryce Elder. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. His first strikeout of his career. Sean Murphy alerts the umpire so he can save that ball. I believe that's his dad in the crowd, and it's pretty funny. It's got to be a nervous tick. His dad, for those of y'all who can't see it, is sitting on the front row, and I'm assuming it's his dad, not like a coach or something that he invited up. As the first pitch on the way is a curveball at the knees, it's 0-1. And he's sitting in a Braves polo, looks nice, presentable and all. He's got some kind of a badge, so that's why I believe he's probably family, because they probably got him a pass. But the badge is in his mouth, and he's chewing on it. The 0-1, curveball down and away, 1-1. He's gnawing on that thing. And I haven't seen it leave his mouth. They've shown him 3 or 4 times, and each time he's had that badge in his mouth. It's on a lanyard. The 1-1. Swing, lifts it into left center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Verdugo cuts it off, and here comes the throw to the plate, and it's a bad throw. There was a delayed send, and all in all, Verdugo should have thrown it to second, because now he just traded places with Stowers, and we got another runner in scoring position. I know he was trying to make a play, but Verdugo has a noodle for an arm. And he was going against his body as a left-hander. There was no way he was going to make that throw, but he threw it all the way in. And when the batter saw it, he took off. Stowers had slammed on the brakes, just passing third. Third base coach Blake Law sent him. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball to Norby. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Connor Norby batting .242, 4 home runs, 20 RBI. The 0-1. 97 up top, 1-1. I think if I were the Braves, I would have pitched Elder tonight and Fuentes tomorrow night, because the starter on the mound tomorrow night is the 0-2. Swing, fires it back, foul. We'll do it again. The Braves have always hit him. Even when he first came up and they were talking about how he was the next great thing, he came into Atlanta and got pounded. He has an ERA just south of 7. And I would have wanted my rookie to go up against him and have Elder go up against Junk. The 0-2. Swing, just got a piece of it. We'll do it again. And that might be overthinking it, but that's just the way I look at it. Is I want to give this young man the best chance he can to succeed. And the Braves are going to struggle to score off of Junk in the first part of the game. If he spirals out of control, it's going to be tough to keep his psyche together. His fastball's been in and out of the zone all night, but when he gets it in the zone, it's impressive. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the curveball. The fountain of youth, baby. 2 down. It was a hanging curveball, but he couldn't time it up. Typically, you want that curveball much lower in the zone, but it worked that time. His fastball, John, you're asking about it, is in the mid to high 90s. He typically tops out around 96, and he goes 94, 95 regularly. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge. They check down the line. Did he go around? First base umpire Will Little says he did not. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss slider. He's starting to throw that slider well. It's 1-1. Now, the big thing that the Braves wanted from him over anything else is they wanted him up into the majors because of his swing and miss. But you still have to pay attention to all the other numbers. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 97 that time. It's 1-2. I think that's the hardest one he's thrown so far. 1-2 count. 98. Oh, come on. You got to give my man that strike. It sat right there off the paint. Y'all see it where it is right now. It just hit your screen. That is ridiculous. The 2-2 count. Misses high and out of the zone. Full count. That was just an awful call by Lance Barksdale. His numbers show that he does pinch pitchers. That's another reason why I would have went with Fuentes tomorrow, because Will Little is a pitcher's pitcher. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 97 up around the eyeballs. Over the plate. All right, Fountain of Youth. Let's get it. We got a Diddy party on a Friday night.
Talking about one of the greatest pitchers that we just don't talk about enough, Addie Jaw. In his major league debut, he threw a one-hitter, who some believe should have been a no-hitter after a clean catch was ruled a hit. In his rookie season, all he did was win 17 games, have a sub-3 ERA, and lead the league in shutouts. 2 years later, he went 14-10 with a 1.59 ERA. Even more impressive, he didn't allow a home run all season. He won 20 or more games in back-to-back years in 1905 and 1906. In 1907, he won his first 10 starts, threw 2 one-hitters, and had career bests in wins with 27 and innings pitched with 338. Just 1 year later, he reached baseball immortality when he threw the 4th perfect game in baseball history. Even more impressive, he did it with just 74 pitches, the lowest known pitch count ever in a perfect game. In 1910, he became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to no-hit the same team twice. Before the start of his next season, his career made a drastic turn. During an exhibition game in Chattanooga, Tennessee, he would collapse on the field. Initial reports thought it may be food poisoning, but his condition quickly worsened. Less than a week later, he was coughing more, which was accompanied accompanied by a severe headache. 10 days after his collapse, he would be diagnosed with tuberculosis meningitis. 1 day later, it would spread to his brain, and he passed away at the age of 31. Over his 9-year career, he won 160 games through 234 complete games and had 920 strikeouts. His 1.89 career ERA is the second lowest in baseball history, and his 0.968 career WHIP is the lowest of all time.
Between 1900 and 1910, country boys and immigrant sons and factory workers and streetwise toughs played on thousands of teams in hundreds of leagues from Maine to California. For the first time, big league scouts began to travel the countryside on the lookout for future stars. Sports writers called them ivory hunters. It would be an era that placed a premium on pitching and speed, in which runs were assembled slowly, one base at a time. It would see one pitcher win 41 games in a single season, and the hardest hitting team hit just 16 home runs.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail 1-0. That's the bad news. The good news is Diddy has himself 3 strikeouts. Looked pretty good to finish off that inning. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is a slider at the knees. It's 0-1. So he gave up the 2 hits and the 1 run, but he also struck out the side around it. The 0-1 swing pops it back foul. Will it stay in play? Given chase over the first base side, it will not. About 6 or 7 rows deep into the, just past the first base dugout, it's 0-2. Murphy with 9 homers and a 758 OPS, 21 ribbies, a 219 clip. Jansen Junk, his 32nd pitch of the night. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it back foul. We'll do it again. Now, Murphy's one of the few guys in this lineup who has seen Junk before, but it's been quite a while. He's 1 for 2, and he did get a couple RBIs on the base hit. But once again, that was back in the AL. The 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Man, he had him fishing off the pier without a pole for that one away. Michael Harris II will come to the plate. What I would tell, if I'm Tim Hyer and Snicker before the game, when you have a guy like this, the number one thing I would tell them is, man, that first time through the lineup, eat some pitches, work his pitch count up, but you also get to see what he looks like. So if you've never seen him before and you're just guessing fastball on the first time through the order, it's a losing mentality. First pitch on the way to Harris. Swung on, slaps it over towards short. This is going to be a tough play. Is he going to get him? Wow, he got him. The shortstop, Lopez, made a diving stab, backhanded, then from his knees, gunned down Harris as it bounced about 19 times. And Harris was busting it out of the box. He beat him by a mile, realistically. It was so good, the outfielder Byers, they just panned to him, and he had a big S-eating grin. First pitch on the way to Nick Allen is swung on. He'll drop it towards left field, but a good sliding catch in left by Stowers will end the inning. Braves go down 1-2-3. Jansen Junks has a perfect game going here in Miami.
When is it time to cut back? Well, it might be time to cut back when you're at the grocery store and the clerk takes your package of Oreos and puts them on that little shelf and says, do you want to keep these separate? You know, like it's a pack of gum.
You just don't believe in knocking, do you? What you want now? Our hands have fingertips, but our toes don't have toe tips. But we still can tiptoe.
Repeat after me. Okay. If it's not perfect, on the first try, it's a learning opportunity, and I get to try again. It's trash, I'm trash, and I am never trying that again. No!
Archie Vaughn has a reputation as an infielder, but he won the National League batting championship in 1935 with an average of 385.
Archie Vaughan is thought of today as a guy who had some freak show batting numbers, 385 in 1935. This was not a hitter's league in 1935. This is a fantastic number.
His first 10 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Joseph Floyd Archie Vaughan hit over 300. But that's just part of the story of this Hall of Fame, who owns the second highest lifetime batting average by a shortstop.
He had a lifetime 318 batting average, hit a lot of home runs, had over 2,100 hits.
Vaughan may have been the best hitting of all the shortstops as a pure hitter.
He was a superb shortstop, an all-around baseball player, was a great base runner by all accounts.
But tragedy made Archie a forgotten man. It wasn't until 1985 that the Veterans Committee enshrined him in the Hall of Fame, 37 years after he retired and 33 years after his sudden death.
One of the reasons Vaughan disappeared from the scene was a tragic early death by drowning soon after he retired. It took many years and a lot of advocacy by baseball writers and historians to get Vaughan into the Hall of Fame.
Welcome back. Braves trail 1-0. Bottom three, the top of the order due up for the Fish. During the break, I was looking over at the Mets-Phillies series. First pitch on the way is a curveball in the dirt to Edwards. It's 1-0. By the way, Fuentes is at 34 pitches. So I don't know what his pitch count's going to be, but it's a little north of where you want to be going into the third. The 1-0. Right there, smacks the black on the outer edge. It's 1-1. And they have a kid by the name of Tidwell pitching. When I saw him, he's got a huge ERA. When I saw the lineup today, is the pitch on the way, swing, rips it into right field. Fastball, but he smokes it. And it's a worm burner into right and a leadoff single for the Marlins. And that's a problem because Edwards can fly. But back to that thought on the Phillies and Mets. I thought to myself, I was like, why do the Phillies get to go up against this chump, right? This guy is spotting 98-mile-an-hour fastballs all over in and out of the zone. I don't know how he got bombed so hard, but he is bringing it. He's the Mets pitcher. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, 96. Top shelf. To Sanchez, it's 0-1. Time is being called by home plate umpire. As he wipes off the dish. But I think really what that had to do with is on the swing and the miss. I believe Sanchez on his follow-through hit Murphy, and he's just buying time. And Murphy and Sanchez are basically saying, apologies, and it's all good to each other. And he was taking his time doing that. Make sure Smurf's all right. Righty-lefty. Fuentes turns and flips it over to first. Got a pretty quick pickoff move. The 0-1. Edwards leaning towards second. The pitch. 97 misses high and out of the zone. 1-1. We'll change the view for you in case Edwards takes off. 1-1 count. Braves trail 1-0. Bottom of the third. The pitch. Swing. Lifts it. High and deep into center. Drifting back on the warning track. At the warning track at the wall is Michael Harris II. He'll make the catch. Fired into the infield. One away. And Sanchez gave that a ride, and he's got a grin like he thinks he just missed it. One down, and that'll bring Lopez to the plate. Lopez got on via the error by Riley his first time up. First pitch on the way. Fastball right there. Kisses the black on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing. That ball sliced into right field, down for a base hit. Acuna comes up firing, but that throw, did they get him? Man, that was closer than it should have been. Edwards was underneath the tag, but on the throw, the batter goes all the way to second base. So another bad job by the Braves outfield, chasing the lead runner and not trying to keep this. Because the first thing you do there is you eliminate the double play. And I get it, Acuna's got an arm and he unleashed it. But Edwards is one of the fastest guys in baseball. And I know it's tempting. But as soon as he saw, because Lopez has great speed of his own, as soon as he saw that as the first pitch on the way, swing, that ball's hammered down the line. Is she gone? A 3-run shot into the upper deck, and just like that, it's 4-0. It was a hanging breaking ball. Augustin Ramirez, 436 feet. He obliterated that pitch. Wow. That was a sneak it over, get it over curveball. And unbelievable. Holy cow. You couldn't have put that better on a tee. First pitch on the way is a curveball off the plate wide. It's 1-0.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry. You know, anything travels that far, I'd have a damn stewardess on it, don't you?
The 1-0. Swing and a miss up top. 1-1. 1-1 count. I bet the people sitting up there didn't think they were going to get a Marlins home run tonight. Time is called. You wonder how long they'll have Fuentes pitch out there. The 1-1. Nowhere near the zone. 2-1. He's at 45 pitches, and I mentioned this in the first part. I thought they'd try to get him through the lineup 2 times. 2-1 pitch. Curveball banged on the ground over to Ozzie. Ozzie has it, flips it to Olsen. 2 down. And that would essentially, if he could clean this up a little bit and get some outs, that would probably take you to the start of the 5th inning. And then you would probably go out. At this point, if we're trailing like this, it's going to be Montero, but if the Braves can chip away, you might see De Los Santos. First pitch on the way, 97, well off the plate. It's 1-0. That wasn't even pitching right there. He's just throwing. But you put a 20-year-old kid out there, there's going to be issues. 1-0. Slider misses. 2-0. 2-0 count. Dane Meyer struck out his first time up. The 2-0 pitch. Oh, another squeeze call by home plate umpire Lance Barkdale. 3-0. He's not getting any doubts given. The 3-0, nowhere near the zone, ball 4. He'll head on down to first, and there's 1 on, 2 out. Seems like it'd be a good place to go out there and talk to the young man, give him a breather, and maybe give him a vote of confidence. I'm sure a million things are racing through his mind right now. But instead, Liam Hicks, the batter, he's 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI. Runner goes. Huge jump. Fast ball. Here comes the throw. I think they might have got him. They got him. The runner came off the base. I'm not sure if they got him before then or not. They're checking to see if they want to challenge this. Looking into the Marlins dugout. I believe they got him on the second bit. They do not. We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail 4-0.
What does an Italian have if he has one arm shorter than the other? A speech impediment.
Is tomorrow Friday?
Yeah, why?
'Cause I think I'm gonna get a little loose-goose. But more loose than the goose. 'Cause the goose be violent.
Let me get this straight. You're protesting in America to be here illegally, and you're waving the flag that you're from, but you refuse to go back to the country that you're from. And not only that, you're taking the American flag, throwing it on the ground, and stepping on it. Then why are you here?
Number 5.
I'm Ozzie Smith, shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals, otherwise known as the Wizard of Oz.
If there was anybody that I wanted to be like, it would be Ozzie. He had all the quickness, all the speed, all the coordination, all the flair.
Don't drop it. There's the Wizard. What a play, Ozzie Smith.
No one covered the diamond quite like Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie was objectively great, but he also had charisma, style, so distinctive.
With Ozzie, not only was he fantastic to look at, he left tracks in the snow.
Really made it sexy to play shortstop.
Ozzie embodied both precision and flair, and those 13 gold gloves were all in a row. But you don't make the prime 9 on your glove alone.
One of the things that Ozzie Smith needed to do to get to that next level, the Hall of Fame level, he had to learn how to hit.
He went from an offensive liability to basically a 275 hitter and had to be reckoned with at the plate.
Ozzie Smith with hit number 2,000, and he stands at third with a triple.
Ozzie finished his career with almost 2,500 hits, but his biggest one came during the 1985 postseason.
Smith corks one into right down the line. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. And the Cardinals have won the game on a home run by the Wizard.
Welcome back. Braves trail 4-0. Jansen Junk has a perfect game going. We go back to the top of the order to start the 4th, and Ronald Acuna Jr. is your batter. First pitch on the way is a curveball down and away. It's 1-0. They really want to help this young man out. Get some runs back here. Plus give him a breather. The 1-0 up top for a strike. It's 1-1. One count. Well, my feet is frozen, so I don't know what's going on. Fastball, I believe. Missed high and out of the zone. Well, isn't this a pickle? my entire feet is shut down. Let me see if I can fix it. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Pitch on the way, swung on, fouled off. It's 2-2. There we go. I got one of them back at least. 2-2 count. Good old FanDuel. The 2-2 to Acuna. Swing, fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Chop foul towards the third base side. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Swing, hits it up the middle. We finally have a base hit. That was a warm burner, a scalder right up the middle. And Ronald Acuna Jr. once again gets us going. Let's get it, Braves country.
Bravo. Bravo.
Alex Verdugo, the batter, he check swing, fouls one down the third base line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty lefty. Cunha standing at first. Nobody out. Riley on deck. Olsen is in the hole. The 0-1, swing, rips it, and that ball gets into right field. That's down for a base hit, and Dr. Doogie gets it going.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going, and we want him to stay that way.
Keep that line moving. Austin Riley, the batter. He struck out his first time up. You got runners at first and second, nobody out, and Olsen on deck. First pitch to the rake, swing and a miss, came out of his shoes on the sweeper. It's 0-1. Man, he was trying to yank that thing. His front foot almost went into the Marlins dugout. The 0-1. Swing, dribbles it over towards short. That's going to be a double play. 6-4 to 3. 2 down. Runner at second does make it up to first. Did Riley beat that out? Are they calling him safe? The Marlins want to challenge it. They called him safe. It looked like he was out from my vantage point. But let me see the replay. I gotta see the other play. The replay I'm seeing from the first was, let's see, when the ball hops. Man, that is so close because it hits the webbing just as his foot is hitting the base. The question is, does he have it secured for an out by the time Riley clears the base? And that's the biggest question. It's a big call here because if we have runners on the corners, 1 out, that changes this inning dramatically as opposed to a double play that would have you with 2 outs and a runner on third. So we'll wait for the call. We'll hit the out-of-town scoreboard. Rangers lead the Pirates 4-2. They're in the 5th. Orioles and Yankees head to the 3rd, tied at 2. Rays and Tigers 0-0 in the 1st. The replay I keep getting from Miami is the back end. You can't see anything there. But as they show the second, he's probably out, to be honest with you. Hopefully we get the call, but it looks like he's out. The biggest question I have is there enough to overturn? Because did he have the ball secure in the mitt by the time Riley, because the ball was hitting the ground in his mitt almost simultaneously. Whatever they call, I can't argue with it. I'm just hoping for, hopefully, a little good luck. Maybe you got a Tampa Bay Rays fan in there running the booth, and he's got an axe to grind on the Marlins. Mets and Phillies 0-0 in the 3rd. Same with the Reds and Cardinals. Later on tonight, Brewers and Twins at 8:10. Rockies host the Diamondbacks at 8:40. Zach Gallen on the mound. I think we're finally getting a call here. They're calling him safe. I think it's probably a bad call, but we'll take it. I think from reading his mouth, he said the call stands, and they're basically saying there wasn't enough to overturn it. But hey, we'll take it. So all right. Sometimes it's better be lucky than good on a play, and we'll take a little bit of luck. They keep focusing on the first baseman. What the first baseman's fault was a low throw and what was a really traditional 6-4-3. First pitch on the way to Olson, pops it up. Thankfully, that'll go back behind home plate. If he would have popped that one out, I'd be like, well, that did nothing. Righty-lefty matchup. Whew, good night, Irene. Judge just slammed one. The 0-1, swing and a miss, curveball. Down off the plate, out of the zone. It's 0-2. Oh-2 count. Ramirez, the catcher, steps up in front of the plate. He's changing some signs up. Goes back to work. The 0-2. Swing, rips it down the first base line, but foul. We'll do it again. Tell you what, for a right-handed batter, Aaron Judge has perfected the art of shooting for that right field wall. The 0-2 to Olson. High and out of the zone, 95. Tried to get him to chase. Trying to get him to pop it up. 1-2. I'd even be happy even if we just get one run here in the inning, though you want more, just to start chipping away would be a plus. The 1-2. Swing. Rips it down the third base line, but foul. We'll do it again. Touch behind that. One, two count. Brings it. Swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground. That's going to get through. That's going to score a run. And the Braves have cut the lead 4-1. Good piece of hitting by the Ice House. Smoked it on the right side on the carpet. Riley heads down to second.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House. Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
So 4-1 your score, runners on first and second. Riley was unable to go first to third because the ball was hit that hard to right. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a slider off the edge. It's 0-1. Ozuna, 65 doubles, batting .300 in Lone Depot Park over his career, along with 58 home runs. That's in 352 games. The 0-1's right there. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Down and away. Ball gets away. And Riley and Olson. The ball gets thrown into right field. Olson was diving into first, and that'll send Riley down to third. Olson was flat on his stomach trying to slide under the tag when the ball went to right field, so he had no chance to advance. But that's a big play there because now Riley is in scoring position, and a fly ball would cut this lead in half. You just got to, if you're Ozuna, you just got to make sure you don't hit into a double play. Runners on the corners, one out. The 1-2. Oh my word. Strike three caught looking. Jeez Louise. Swing the bat. 2 down. Backwards K. He just ate a knuckle sandwich right down the gullet. It was a backward slider, and it came in and just froze him. 2 down, and Ozzie Albies looking to find a way to bring Riley home from third. First pitch, swing, chops it foul. Went with the curveball. It's 0-1. That was unbelievable. The 0-1 pops it up. Stays in play. It's going to be an out. Coming over, and did he make the catch? He did. So Ozzie spits the bit. Braves put one run on the board, but should have had at least one more. Bad job by Ozuna and Ozzie.
Your wife should not have to cook every evening. Tell her y'all are going to your mother's house. That way she can see how it's done. Also tell her it'll be nice to eat in a clean house for once.
What's E.T. short for? Well, he's only got those tiny little legs.
What's one thing your mother doesn't know about you?
Probably that I'm a racist.
What? Why?
I don't know, I just like how I feel when I do it.
Well, how would your mum feel if she found out?
Oh, she'd hate it. She doesn't like it when I ride motorcycles.
Racer. You mean racer.
Pretty sure it's racist.
No, racer. R-A-C-E-R.
You white people are so annoying.
Ernie Banks didn't have to become a better hitter. He already was one.
Ernie Banks, tall, lean guy, great arms and hands.
He wasn't an outstanding shortstop like Ozzie Smith or other guys, and of course there are not many like that, but he was just a marvelous hitter. He had an easy swing. He was really good at taking his pitch downtown.
It's a home run for Banks! Attaboy, Ernie!
It slowly began to come into my mind that what you're doing is very unique. I mean, you're a shortstop with power.
The first shortstop ever to hit 40 home runs in a season. Ernie did so 5 times in 6 years.
A familiar sight to Chicago fans. Ernie Banks hitting a home run.
He won back-to-back Most Valuable Player awards.
To win the MVP award is really an amazing thing. I say that to myself. And on a team that finished 5th both years.
He did it!
But perhaps Ernie is best remembered for his passion for the game.
So many people play the game with their heart and soul, but they can't enjoy it. Ernie Banks enjoyed every time, every at-bat.
And Mr. Cub will always be remembered for his famous catchphrase.
Let's play 2.
So, let's play 2.
Let's put together the ultimate list of players that could be on a food menu. I'll start. Darryl Strawberry. Who's your choice?
Braves trail 4-1, but we still got a long way to go in this one. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Fuentes will go back out there to work. First pitch on the way. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Just misses high. It's 1-0. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters to start the inning for the Marlins. The 1-0. Good curveball. Bends in and grabs the zone on the inner cut. 1-1. 1-1 count. Curveball down and in. 2-1. The 2-1. Snaps the curveball at the bottom of the zone. Evens it up. 2-2. The 2-2. Whoa! High inside, 95 miles an hour. I'll be interested to see what the Phillies do. As the payoff pitch, swing, rips it over towards, heading towards center field, but Nick Allen has it played, makes the catch. L6 in your scorecard, 1 down. First looked like a hard hit ball, but it was kind of a soft line drive, and it gave Allen enough time to get over from where he was left of the bag to right of the bag. Norby 0 for 1 stands in, the third baseman. First pitch on the way is a curveball, misses down and away. It's 1-0. If you look at the Phillies' rotation tonight, Zach Wheeler is pitching, 1-0. 81 up top, 1-1. They have a similar situation going on with Wheeler. 1-1 count, out and away, 2-1. The way he lines up is that he would pitch next Thursday. 2-1 pitch, swing, rifles it foul, 2-2. Against the Astros on a Thursday afternoon getaway game. My guess is they're going to skip that start and have him pitch game 1 of the Braves series. 4-seam fastballs fouled back out of play. We'll do it again. And it's going to be dicey because last time we faced Wheeler, we had Sale going, and it was a hell of a. I mean, it was punch for punch, pound for pound, right? The 2-2 swing rips it down the third base line, but foul. But the way it stands right now, it's going to be Zach Wheeler on basically 2 extra days of rest, and Elder on normal rest. The 2-2 chops it foul. We'll do it again. That's the bad news. The good news is we'll set up the rest of the weekend with the advantage in the pitching because you're going to have Schwelly on Saturday is the 2-2. Ball's dropped into right field down for a base hit. And it's a 1-out single for the Fish. The way to set up right now, you're going to have Schwellenbach for game 2 of the Philadelphia series next weekend and Chris Sale for game 3. One on, one out. Kicks and brings it. Swing and a miss, 96. It's 0-1. He might get that pitch a tad high in the zone for the major leagues, but that's an impressive fastball. It jumps out of his hand. The 0-1. Turns around, flips it over to first. But I don't know what Rob Thompson and his crew that run the Phillies, I don't know what their kind of strategy is. I've never paid attention if the Phillies do that regularly. The Braves will bump a starter to try to set it up for the next series. The 0-1. Swing. Pops it up. Back out of play. We'll do it again. It's 0-2. There are some pitchers that like to stay in a rhythm, and Zach Wheeler, with already getting an extra day of rest, he may not want 2 days of rest, but you never know how they'll play that out. But it'll be interesting to see who ends up pitching Thursday for the Phillies. The 0-2 count. Swing, chops it off the plate. Do it again. Infield back and to the left, playing Hernandez to pull, but they are in double play depth. Runner at first, 1 out. The 0-2 count. Fuentes, 69th pitch of the night, pops it up. Shallow right field making the catch. 2 away. This is where the rubber meets the road. We'll see if they are going to let him face that lineup for a third time. Pitch-wise, he should be okay. It's whether or not they want him to be seen by the Marlins for a third time as the lineup flips over for a third time. He's at 69 pitches. He's given up 6 hits already, and here comes the top of the order. Xavier Edwards, 1 for 2 on the day. Righty-lefty, turns around, flips it over to first. Runner goes diving back in. First pitch to Edwards. Curveball just below the knees. He's called that a strike a few times. We didn't get the call that time. It's 1-0. Might have been a touch south of where he's been getting those called. 1-0. Flings it up there. Curveball. Gets the edge. 1-1. Max Fried is on the mound for the Yankees tonight. They lead the Orioles 3-2. They're in the fourth. One count. That curveball goes well south of the zone. 2-1. The 2-1, 95 up top, 3-1. Marlins lead at 4-1, bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, the 3-1 pitch. Swing, pops it up. Should be an easy out. Harris calling everybody off. He'll make the catch in center field, and that'll end the inning. So, a good bounce back inning by Fuentes, the fountain of youth. We trail 4-1. We grab the sticks.
Hate your life and die on the job. Be a man.
Once a year, there comes a chance for a fresh start. An opportunity to change oneself for the better, and that time is now. So I'm gonna go full throttle, and everyone around me is gonna hear about it. My name is Max, and I'm the most annoying person on January 1st. Oh, starting hungover? You do you. How were the bars at midnight? I wouldn't know, I wasn't even awake. Yes, the new year is about personal resolutions, but it's also about making other people feel bad. If people don't hear about my resolutions nonstop, what's the point? Everyone always said the gym would be packed on January 1st, but I was like the only one there. I guess it was 5 a.m. You know you really shouldn't be drinking that coffee. It's not good for you. Some might argue that making small, consistent changes over the course of the year would be more efficient than going 0 to 100 arbitrarily on January 1st. But I'll get more attention this way. Hey, do you have the time? No. Could you check your phone? I'm just doing 5 minutes of screen time a day, so everyone's gonna f***ing hate. I'll give it up on all of these by mid-February, but until then, strap in. I'm gonna go write my poem of the day.
I started blasting. Bang! Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them. Okay. Bang! Try to shoot him in the back. But I don't want so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
I think maybe the biggest appeal of baseball is that it looks so simple, it looks so familiar, and in its outward dimensions, it is still almost exactly the same game that we played when we were kids, that we first saw with our fathers when we sat in the stands. There is a continuity there that is very attractive to us because so many other institutions that we have known have disappeared or fallen into disarray. Our families, our cities, our politics. But baseball feels the same. It feels very much the same, and I think this is probably its prime attraction.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call, Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Braves grab the bats. We'll start this one off with Sean Murphy. Braves trail 4-1. Top of the fifth. First pitch on the way. Swing, hammers it down the third base line, just foul. That was just a touch to the right. It would have been extra bases. He was sitting dead red on that pitch. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slider down and in. 1-1. One count. Swing, hits it hard up the middle. It's going to go under the glove of Lopez. We'll see how they score it, but regardless, he gets on base.
Smurf is me. I must call an emergency meeting.
Very Smurfy hit. See how the scores table, they will call it an error. It looked like an error. You just never know. So 1 on, nobody out. Michael Harris the second. First pitch on the way. Fastball taken right down the pipe. It's 0-1. You really want to get a big inning going, the best way to do that is get the bottom of the order rolling. Have it turn over. It's a perfect time to do that. The 0-1. Swing, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. Nick Allen stands on deck. In the hole, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. Braves trail by 3, but we still have 5 innings of offense left. The 0-2. Swing, just got a piece of that. Fouls it back to the backstop. Mets and Phillies are still scoreless there in the 4th. The 0-2 count. Swing. Chopper back to the mound. It's going to have to go to first. Man, I'll tell you what, that was such a lazy throw to first. Harris almost beat it out. He was booking it down the line and jumped through a rainbow. It beat Harris by about a half step, but it never should have been that close. Good hustle by Michael. He almost caught old Junk napping. The Mets and Phillies, by the way, they're in a flat-footed tie going into this series in Philadelphia. First pitch on the way is a slider to Nick Allen. It's 0-1. Murphy now in scoring position. Braves are 10 back of both of them. The 0-1. High and inside, 1-1. You're wondering who you should be pulling for. I mean, honestly, what I'm pulling for are extra innings in every one of those games. Wear the hell out of that Mets bullpen so when we see them on Monday, they're the worse for wear. The 1-1 swing, lifts it, high into right field, drifting over, making the easy catch in right. Sanchez fires it into the infield, 2 down. 2 down. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Acuna. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Swing. Fouls it down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1 righty-righty matchup. Kicks and fires. Now he's going to throw it into the outfield as Murphy was diving to second, but Murphy was flat on his stomach, and he's slow as a tortoise, so he never was going to make it over there. So he'll stay at second base. The 0-1 count. Brings it. Swing! Slices it foul. Almost anybody else on the Braves roster standing at third. But Murphy went diving in. And it was thrown so hard and on this carpet. It got to the center fielder so quickly. Murphy didn't even really have time to get up. The 0-2 in the dirt. 1-2. Tried to get him to chase the slider. 1-2 count. Kicked and fires. Swing, chops it over towards third. It's going to be a slow roller, and it's going to be an infield single by Ronald Acuna Jr. And we keep the line moving, baby! Runners on the corners, 2 outs.
Bravo. Bravo.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and here comes Alex Verdugo. First pitch on the way. Curveball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. 90-mile-an-hour pitch just below the zone. Bounces off the glove of Ramirez, but he corrals it before Murphy can get home. 1-1. It's going to take a long, wild pitch to get Murphy home. The 1-1 swing, pops it up down the third baseline, giving chase towards foul territory. It'll dip into the stands, thankfully, 1-2. One-two count, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Braves trail 4-1. This would be a good time for him to hit his first home run as a Brave. Runner goes. Pitch on the way. Outside wide. And that'll be an easy stolen base by Ronald Acuna Jr. He was shot out of a cannon on that one. Got a very good jump. And it was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was just off the plate. Realistically, a perfect pitch to throw, but it was no chance. The 2-2 swing, fouls it straight back. You do it again. Ramirez got the ball. He went to get up, and he just had nothing. He just held on to it, which is the smart thing to do. Last thing you want to do is throw it into the outfield. That would be a run. And with Acuna's speed, if that ball's not picked up quickly, it could be 2. The 2-2 to Verdugo. Swing, chops it over to second. 4-3 put out. That'll end the inning. Braves threat, but can't get him across. We go to the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 3.
What do you call the sexuality where you like men and women, but they don't like you? By yourself.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way, unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't. And with that, he has just set a Super Bowl record of 162 yards. The announcement now, it's official, the most valuable player, Super Bowl 17, John Riggins.
Here's a nice little phrase you might want to learn in the future. It's called, long story short.
Okay, and here's one for you. No thanks, I'm full.
You're so bad in bed, you only lasted 3 strokes. Pretty sure that's a birdie. We take those all day.
Shortstops were historically smaller, contact hitters. But Cal was big and hit for power, too.
Well, I was always looked at as an offensive shortstop, and in some ways I was proud of that, but in some ways I took exception to it.
Ground ball up the middle, long run for the shortstop, Cal Ripken, wheels, throws, in time! My God!
He made plays at 6'4.5" that would boggle your mind.
To think that he could go out and play shortstop as well as he has played it. He looks like a tight end.
Of all the things that I've been given credit for, the one that is most meaningful is my success at shortstop as a big guy kind of opened the doors for other big shortstops.
Cal did help pave the way for taller shortstops that followed, but first, he had to blaze a trail at short for himself.
Cal's got it!
Literally an everyday player.
And he'd play the bulk of his amazing streak at the physically demanding position of shortstop.
And let it be said that number 8, Cal Ripken Jr., has reached the unreachable star.
Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/ that, Braves country. Welcome back. First pitch on the way. It's a sweeper right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Fuentes is back out there, 75 pitches. So we'll see how long he stays out there. The 0-1. Swing, chops it down the first base line. It's going to be towards Ozzie. Ozzie has it. Olsen slides over to first, makes the catch. 4-3. One down. Junk may be at the end of his rope. They're showing him in the dugout getting high fives, so we'll see what happens here. They have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen, Ronnie Enriquez. And Junk is at 77 pitches. I'm sorry, 79 pitches. First pitch on the way is 96 right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. So I don't know what the cap is on, but it seems like they have a fairly short leash with him. The 0-1. Right there for a strike. 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing, pops it up. Let's stay in play. Smurf makes the catch at the back towards the backstop. 0-2. Or 2 down, excuse me. Just realized what I said. Two down, and first pitch on the way to the right-hander Ramirez is a four-seam fastball. High in the zone for a strike. It's 0-1. Fuentes still sitting on 3 strikeouts, by the way. The 0-1. 96 misses high and out of the zone. 1-1. Fuentes is at 81 pitches. If he could get a quick out here, they may send him out there for 6. The 1-1 way outside wide, 2-1. They're not going to really be worried about wearing him out per se, because he'll go back down to the minor leagues after this game, and then the 2-1 chops it foul, do it again. And then however long they want to stay in between starts, they'll do it for him. Down in the minor leagues, you pitch typically once a week. The 2-2 pops it up, back foul, we'll do it again. Rangers lead the Pirates 5-2 in the 7th. Milwaukee and Minnesota just getting underway. They're scoreless in the 2nd. Milwaukee's rookie Mizorowski's pitching tonight. Two count, a bit of a delay. Not sure what that was about, as one of the ball boys or bat boys for the Marlins came over and gave the umpire something, couldn't make it out. The 2-2. Splitter down and in. We haven't seen that pitch much. Full count. That's basically his off-speed pitch, is that splitter. The payoff pitch. Swing, fouls it down the line. On deck is Stowers, who hit a double his last time up. We do have Aaron Bummer warming up in the bullpen. This may be his last hitter come hell or high water. Sitting at 86 pitches now. The payoff. Swing, laces it to second. Ozzie makes a jumping catch, and that'll end the inning. Well, if that was his last inning, it was a good one. 3 up, 3 down. 1, 2, 3. We'll grab the bats when we return here in Braves country.
I love when my own brain decides to ruin my own day. Like, whose side are you even on, man?
Southern white people and black people are damn near the same. We like guns, we like Jesus, and fried chicken.
Yo, white people, it's always this stigma or stereotype that white people don't season their food.
Mm-hmm.
You eat from a white person in the South, they season the shit out of everything.
Yeah, they definitely.
Like Paula Deen?
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't the first one in her family tree with 3 chins. Like, they know what they're doing. Mac and cheese, fried chicken, collard greens.
Yeah, white people mac and cheese so good. That's why it's the main course for them.
Number 2 is A-Rod.
Alex Rodriguez, when you think of him,
Number one, I think of the young kid that came up with Seattle, and you were just floored at what he was able to do on a baseball field.
Oh, what a monster shot by Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod is another guy that brought the offensive firepower, probably even more so than Cal Ripken, to shortstop.
Much like Ripken, the 6'3" Rodriguez brought a fluid grace to shortstop that belied his size.
Great stop by Alex Rodriguez, who throws him out.
And along with the Yankees' Derek Jeter and Boston's Nomar Garciaparra, A-Rod stood tall amongst his fellow superstar shortstops of the day. And in 1996, his .358 average led the major leagues. In addition, A-Rod stole 176 bases while at short.
For him to put up those kind of numbers, play shortstop every single day, he didn't miss a game. He took one day off his whole time in Texas. It's pretty remarkable what he accomplished in his years there.
A-Rod checks in as our second best shortstop. Had he remained at short, he might have been number one.
Hey, Braves country, we're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Nation. Welcome back, Braves country! We're heading to the top of the sixth, trailing by 3. Had a couple opportunities, just haven't come up with that one big hit yet. Austin Riley leads us off. First pitch on the way is a bender from Henriquez. Sweeper misses high. It's 1-0. He'll get the ball. Cifuentes, his night is done. 5 innings, 6 hits. Excuse me. The 1-0 swing. Lifts it towards left. Fly ball out. Stowers has it on a jogging catch. Short before the warning track. It's 1 away. Junk 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. No walks and 5 strikeouts. Pretty impressive outing. He continues to get the job done. He doesn't go deep into games, but he's getting the job done. I really believe it had to do more with is the first pitch on the way. Swing, hit hard on the ground, but over to second. 1 pitch, 1 out. Olsen down, 2 down. I believe they did not want the Braves to see Junk a third time through the order. So when they got him through that very dangerous 5th inning, they decided to call it a rest. Enriquez, short right-hander, brings a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down the pipe to Ozuna. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball right down the gullet. 1-1. Ronnie Henriquez, 5'10", 155 pounds. He's a little guy, but he can bring the smoke. 1-1. Swing. Pops a sweeper back foul. We'll do it again. They're calling it a sweeper, man. It's got some movement on it. It looks more like a slider, though it's only coming in around 83, but it bends weird. Almost like a wiffle ball. Remember him last year? We faced him when he was with the Twins. 1-2, down and away. Did he go around? They checked. He did not. That'll even up the count. He's got a career ERA of 3.03. I don't know why Minnesota kicked him to the curb. ERA this year's 3.15. The 2-2. Swing, chops it foul. We'll do it again. Ozuna last time up struck out looking on a pitch that was right down the pipe. 2-2 count. 4-1 your score. The pitch on the way. Down and away. Full count. On deck, Ozzie Albies. So I'm not sure if they're just going to lay one into Ozuna. They might want to take the chances with the Wiz. The payoff pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted. High and deep into center field. Going back on the track. Making a jump at the wall. He brings it back. So it would have been a home run, but Ozuna is going to make it up to second base with the double. If he doesn't bring it back, it's going to be a home run. He robbed a home run from the Big Zoo. That was a great defensive effort by the center fielder Myers. He timed it up at the top of his leap. He steals the ball over the fence, and the momentum and hitting his hand on the fence brings the ball back into play. Wow. So runner at second and 2 outs, and it will be Ozzie Albies. They're going to take a look at this. This isn't a challenge. This is MLB usually reviews any ball that could be a home run. If you remember when they first came up with this rule way back when, that was all they reviewed. I think they got the call right. I mean, if they didn't get it right, you can't blame them. They're a couple 100 feet away from the play, but I think the call was originally right where it's going to be a double. They're just checking to make sure that he brought it back and that it didn't bounce back. Because for those of y'all who can't see it, as soon as you go past the center field wall, there is a grass embankment right behind it, which is where his glove hit. And then that's what shot the ball back. I believe they have confirmed the call. Yes, they have. And so Ozuna is at second. Even with all that going on, Ozuna barely got to second time. He is so slow. Now, granted, you might have thought that might have been a home run when the way it first came out, but I'll just put it this way. If that's Acuna or Michael, they might have had it inside the Parker. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is 98 up top. Did he go around? I don't believe he did. It's 1-0. Showing the replay now. And I think it was one of those ones where he figured he looked confused as all get out what they're showing on the replay. He had the most dumbfounded look on his face, the 1-0. Swing, chops it down the line, 1-1. And he kept running, but he doesn't run fast well anyways nowadays with the hip tear. But he had the biggest look on his face, like, what in the hell happened? 1-1 count. Swing and a miss at a sweeper down around his ankles, 1-2. That's that sweeper. It's a wiffle ball sweeper. It goes diving in, almost like a cut slide, but it doesn't have the velocity, so it's got really weird movement. 1-2 count. Brings it. Swings at that same pitch. Ozzie got schooled on that one. Class is in session. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves trail 4-1.
Did you know that if you sneeze and fart at the same time that your body takes a screenshot?
It's just weird, because it seems like someone definitely touched my drum set.
Yeah, that is weird.
I know you touched my drum set, and I want to hear that dirty little mouth admit it.
You get out of my face, or I'm in a roundhouse.
You swear on your mom's life that you didn't touch it then. Where are you going?
Going upstairs, because I'm going to put my set on your drum set.
I have 2 moods.
Really? What's the first?
Constant panic and worry about every little detail. And the second, it is what it is.
Pittsburgh's legendary shortstop, Hannes Wagner.
Hannes Wagner is the only player who began his career before 1900, who is still regarded by most baseball historians as the greatest player ever at his position.
Powerful throwing arm, quickness, agility. This guy moved with ease and grace on the ball field, led the league in stolen bases many times.
Wagner won 8 batting titles, and he batted 300 or over for 17 straight years.
Hannes Wagner was the whole package. He was the 5-tool player. He was the Willie Mays at shortstop. You may argue there were better players, but I think it's tough to argue there were better all-around shortstops.
And Wagner rose to the occasion when it mattered most, like in the 1909 World Series.
Wagner outperformed Cobb during that World Series, out-hitting him by over 100 points. Wagner hit .333. Wagner had 6 stolen bases, and the Pirates, Wagner's Pirates, went on to win the series in 7 games.
Throughout the first 2 decades of the 20th century, Wagner made his case as one of the greatest players ever, and his achievements during that time still resonate today.
This man's accomplishments and abilities have stood the test of time for well over 100 years.
He was one of the 5 original members of the Baseball Hall of Fame and had as many votes as Babe Ruth.
Braves trail 4-1. We head to the bottom of 6. It'll be Aaron Bummer on, trying to hold the score right where it's at. Braves have 3 more at-bats in the game and could definitely come back on this Marlins bullpen. First pitch on the way. 94 up and into Stowers. The lefty-lefty matchup, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. 2-0 count. Aaron Bummer, 6'3" left-hander. Is the 2-0 up top sinker, 2-1. Two-one count. Thank you for the contribution, Peta. The 2-1. Down and away, sinker in the dirt, 3-1. Braves trail at 4-1. Stowers, Myers, and Hicks due up. 5, 6, 7 batters. The 3-1 pitch. Swing, chops it down the first base line, but foul. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow. 4:10 first pitch. It'll be Grant Holmes Day. Lefty-lefty matchup. The payoff pitch. Inside, misses altogether, ball 4. So Bummer walks the first man he faced. And the Marlins have 1 on. Nobody out to start the 6th. Lefty righty as Myers digs in. First pitch on the way. That ball's in the dirt. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss. Nice curveball, 1-1. Aaron Bummer, he was drafted by the White Sox back in 2014, so you know he crossed paths with Chris Sale back then. Round 19, and he's out of Nebraska, so I figure him and Schwellenbach probably get together on football Saturdays in the fall. The 1-1, the curveball, it's just not curving today. 2-1 in the dirt. Two-one count. Lefty righty, runner on first, nobody out. The pitch, curveball, way outside wide, 3-1. So he does not have it today. Struggling to find the zone, and he's in danger of walking the second man he has faced. Myers, the center fielder, digs in. The pitch misses high, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. And that'll bring Hicks to the plate. Granitz is going out there to talk to Bummer. It's interesting. I did not realize that Hicks, who's the first baseman today, is also a catcher. So they carry 3 catchers on their team. And it looks like they're going to pinch hit. Wagaman's going to come in. Eric Wagaman, right-handed bat. 27-year-old batting .249, takes the first pitch well inside. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Bummer just has got no feel for the ball today. The 1-0, steps off the mound. Makes a motion to second, but doesn't throw it. It will count as a move. Eric Wagaman, drafted by the Yankees in 2017 out of California, community college called Orange Coast. The 1-0. Bangs it foul into the third base camera well. It's 1-1. He's got 5 home runs on the year, an OPS of .661. 1-1 count. Swing, rips it down the third base line, and that is going to roll for days. 1 run will score. It's 5-1. Verdugo took forever to get the ball out of there. Now he's trying to call it as a ground rule double. I don't think they're going to give him the call. It's 6-1. He was claiming that he couldn't get the ball out. But when you do that, you can't go get the ball out and then throw it in and say, I couldn't get the ball out. That's not how it works. If you honestly think that it's a ground rule double, you've got to call for the umpire, because it did get stuck in the wall. He did call for it. Now, whether or not the umpire saw it, that's a different question. It's at least 5-1. Let's put it that way. If not, then there's going to be runners on second and third. And it looks like they're going to overrule it. Well, we'll see what happens. Right now, they have it on the scoreboard 5-1. But you look at the replay, it goes into the corner, and the Marlins need to fix their damn fence, because underneath the fence there's like a pocket, and Verdugo had to pull it out almost like you're digging for a cue ball in the corner pocket. So 5-1 the score. Runners on second and third, nobody out. We're waiting for the umpires to rule. But I would just be shocked. I mean, it bounces up and in into the actual the padding of the left field wall down in the corner. The Marlins broadcast is focusing on the fact that where the runner was when the ball was caught in the wall, but realistically, if it's a ground rule double, it's a ground rule double. It's not going to matter. A grounds rule double is automatic 2 bases, and it doesn't matter. If they decide that it's not a grounds rule double, that's a different argument. But it's got nothing to do with that. They're taking forever to rule on this. Probably because nobody in New York is watching the Marlins game. Phillies lead the Mets 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And I believe the call is going to stand. So runners on second and third and nobody out. And it should be 5-1. I know it says 6-1 on your screen, but they haven't caught up with it yet. They did send the runner back to third. They're finally showing it. The Braves infield is in with nobody out. The first pitch is swatted down the right field line. It's 0-1. And it's really sketchy here because you got a guy on the mound who's facing right-handers, and he doesn't have strikeout stuff. The 0-1, swing, rattles it foul, it's 0-2. It's not saying he can't get a strikeout. That's not his game. His game is the ground ball. 0-2 count. Connor Norby batting .289 on the year with 2 dingers. The 0-2 misses high and out of the zone, 1-2. Infield is in, shaded a little bit to the left, but pretty straight up on the left side. The 1-2, down and in, try to get him to chase it. He go around, he did not. Do it again. On deck is Hernandez, unless they decide to pinch hit. The 2-2. Swing, rips it over to third. Diving stab by Riley. He smacks the bag. Double play. What a great play by Riley.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
The rocket down the third base line. Myers is standing over there like, you got to be bleeping me. So runner at second, 2 outs. First pitch on the way is chopped up the middle. Play is made by Allen. Fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. So that could have been a heck of a lot worse. It's 5-1. We go to 7 here in Braves country.
How much for an order of ribs?
$2.50.
$2.50? So I guess that's about 50 cents a rib, huh?
Yeah, about.
Let me get one.
One order ribs.
No. 1 rib. You got any soda?
$1.
Oh, come on now. Hey, check this out. Why don't you let me get a sip for 15 cents? Look the cup. Pour it in my hand for a dime. You got change for 100?
What have y'all done? What kind of world we live in where 2 make-believe characters can't even stay together no more? What was the problem, Mickey? Were you not bringing home enough cheese? Were you dipping your nose in somebody else's cheese? I'll tell you one thing, my son bet not find out about this. Do you know what it's going to do to his spirit when he find out 2 rats can't even stay together? He going to start questioning mommy and daddy's relationship. 95 years? I feel like my grandparents just broke up.
I'm just looking to get myself in the lineup somewhere. If I'm at first, right field, or left, it doesn't make much difference to me. Just the opportunity to get in the lineup satisfies me.
For a young Don Mattingly, finding an everyday spot in the 1983 Yankees lineup was an elusive pursuit. He was platooned all year long, splitting time between first base and the outfield. Then came 1984, and a mission to prove to his new manager he deserved a regular job.
Yogi's the manager, and I remember the first day he tells me, he goes, "You're going to be my swing man. You know, you come in there to play every day." I remember telling Yogi, I'm like, "Yogi, you get me in there, you're not going to be able to get me out."
He says, "One thing you may find out, once you get me in there, you may not get me out." And I like that attitude on that for the kid.
And he goes, "Oh, okay, kid." You know, he does that, his little thing, he pats you on the back. But I remember I was playing more outfield.
Now Mattingly makes the catch, throw to the plate. They got him! Holy cow! What a throw by Mattingly!
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. And if you haven't already, share it with your friends. Let's build this Braves Country Radio. Tyler Phillips is going to be the pitcher, the right-hander with a 4.10 ERA for the Marlins. Sean Murphy leads us off. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Down and in. 96 sinker. It's 1-0. Murphy is 1 for 2 on the night. The 1-0. Swing! Hammers it down the line. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, lifts it. High into left field, but not very deep. One away. One up, one down. Michael Harris, the batter. Allen stands on deck. First pitch. Swing, rips it into right field. Going high, deep. Going back on the track. It hits the top of the wall. Here comes Harris. Diving into second, and it's a one-out double by Money Mike. Just missed a home run.
What they know about that?
God bless you, Mike. Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle-dazzle.
One on, one out. I mean, we just missed pay dirt with that one. In some ways, you might be better off the ball not going out and having the pitcher pitch out of the set position. First pitch on the way is a sinker up top to Nick Allen. It's 0-1. One thing it does do is it puts Ronald Acuna Jr. on deck with one out. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. I mean, honest engine, if you weren't watching, and the out that Murphy hit, and it was a fly ball, and it didn't get very far, but he got good wood on it. I mean, he got decent contact. The 1-1. Swing, pops it up. Stays in play, it's going to be an out. Coming over, making the catch, the first baseman Hageman. He'll fire it over to third, and Harris goes flying into third base. He is safe, but there are two outs. You don't gain a whole lot by that, but if there's an error or a wild pitch, pass ball, even a balk could send him home. So good hustle by Harris. Acuna, the batter. They're going to check over to second to see if he left too early. Flips it over to the base, and second base umpire John Bacon says that he is safe. So we'll go back to the action. Acuna digging in, 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch, an excuse me swing. Got to be kidding me. That's some bad luck there. It dribbles over to second, and that'll end the inning. It's time to get up and stretch, Braves country. Braves trail by 4, but it ain't over yet.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the night. Find me something up.
Welcome back. Aaron Bummer goes back out there for another inning of work. First pitch on the way is a curveball. Misses down and in. It's 1-0. Bummer threw 20 pitches in the first inning of work. 1-0. Down and in. 2-0. 2-0 count. It's the top of the order. It may be because you got the left-hander Sanchez, and Edwards, who's batting right-handed, is much more dangerous from the left side. The 2-0, down and in, 3-0. He's right where he left off, in danger of walking the leadoff batter. The 3-0, outside wide, ball 4. So that'll send the leadoff runner all the way down to first. Jeremy, we are meeting up on the day before the All-Star festivities, as the first pitch on the way is the curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. And it's going to be, the Braves are playing the Cardinals that afternoon, so it's going to be during that game when we're first going to meet up. But we'll probably be up there a while, the 1-0. 89 at the knees, 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires, ball in the dirt, runner goes, easily steals that base. He knew if he got a curveball, he was going to get it, and he got the curveball. 2-1. 2-1 count. Trying to find the name of the place, Jeremy. I've got it in another device, but I don't have that handy, so I'm trying to find it. The 2-1, swing, lifts it into right field, making a catch at his... You talk about a shoestring catch? Ronald Acuna Jr. caught that one off the top of his shoes. Line drive out. Backhanded at that. One away. Edwards, good job of base running, got back to the joint, back to second base in time. Acuna flicked it into the infield, but it was nowhere close. Looks like that's going to do it. They're going to go grab Bummer. Here comes Pierce Johnson to face the right-hander. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. The Braves trail 5-1. On this date, 1921, Babe Ruth hits his 127th home run, a 10th inning blast off of Elmer Myers to center field for the eventual winning run in the Yankees' 7-6 victory over the Red Sox at Fenway. The homer moves the 26-year-old Sultan of SWAT past Sam Thompson into second place all-time on the career list for home runs, 11 behind all-time leader Roger Connor, the Hall of Famer from Waterbury, Connecticut. On this date, 1925, at Forbes Field, Max Carey becomes the first switch hitter to hit for the cycle, helping the Bucks pass Brooklyn 21-5. In addition to his 4 hits in 6 trips to the plate, the Pirate outfielder scores 2 runs and drives in 4. And on this date, 1956, Mickey Mantle becomes the first player to reach the Briggs Stadium right center field bleachers since the ballpark expanded in the late 1930s. The Bronx Bomber outfielder accomplishes the feat twice, both off Tiger southpaw Billy Heft, contributing to the Yankees' 7-4 victory over Detroit. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. Pierce Johnson comes in. Mark, they're not DFAing Bummer. They just extended him the contract. They just did that in the offseason. First pitch on the way to Lopez. Righty-righty matchup is right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Curveball from Pierce Johnson. It's funny. I think it's because of his last name, Aaron Bummer. He gets the worst rap from Braves fans because they only remember when he comes out and doesn't do great. But when he comes in and gets us out of a jam, nobody pats him on the back. The 0-1. You go around. Looked like he did. They checked down the first base line. Will Little says that he did. It's 0-2. All in all, Bummer's been pretty good for the Braves. The 0-2 count. Down and away, 1-2. We'll remind people as the final weekend approaches where we're going to be at and everything. Because I'm looking forward to meeting all of y'all, but I'm hoping, I would think a lot of y'all are wanting to meet each other as well. Should be a fun time. The 1-2. Brings it. Swing, chops it over towards third. Riley has it. Fires it to first. He's going to be safe. And that was just unfortunate the way that played out because the chopper, Riley was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had to stutter step so he didn't collide with the runner. The runner cut in front of him and jumped out of the baselines. And honestly, if they're calling it correctly, he should be out, but I don't think they did call it correctly. He's got to either stop or he's got to go behind him and stay in the base paths, but he did neither. He ran in front of him, and that was a bad job by the third base umpire, Ryan Addison. So Ramirez, the batter. Fastball hits top of the zone for a strike. It's 0-1. That might have been Ramirez didn't like the call, but that might have been a gift to PJ because of the terrible call over there at third. The 0-1. Turns around and flips it over to first. Good move by PJ, but the runner's back. Lopez has really good speed, so that wasn't helping things on that play. If Riley wanted to push it, he could have just collided into the runner, and if he did that, it would have been an out. But the 0-1 swings, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. That's easier said than done. The last thing you want to see is Riley on the IL because of that. So I'm glad he didn't collide with them. But in theory, that's what you can do because then it's down to the umpire's discretion. If you were interfering with the play, you're going to be out. The 0-2 swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Hopefully PJ can get out of this without a run scored and it won't matter, but just a bad job by Ryan Addison. And I don't believe his view would have been blocked considering where he was standing. But second base umpire John Bacon owns some of that too because he's right there. The 0-2 pops it up. If it stays in play, Olsen will get it, but it'll get just over the first base dugout where the Braves call home this weekend, into the crowd. There's a right-hander warming up in the Marlins bullpen. It's Anthony Bender. We've seen him many a times. He's a pretty good right-hander. The 0-2 from PJ. 96 misses high, 1-2. One-two count. Swing, rips it up the middle, and that's going to come home to roost. Run will score it 6-1. Harris fires it into the infield. They've got runners on the corners again. Lopez going corner to corner, and it's 6-1 Miami. That ball was scorched. And I believe, PJ got a piece of it, and it deflected it. If he doesn't touch it, Ozzie has it, and he may have gotten he would have gotten the double play. The runner, the batter, was coming out of the box pretty slow. So just bad luck there. First pitch on the way to Stowers is popped up, high and out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. High and inside, 93-mile-an-hour cutter. 1-1. They're calling it the cutter. That would have been his fastball, I believe. The 1-1. Curveball in the dirt, 2-1. 2-1 count. Righty, lefty brings it. Swing! That ball smashed down the right field line, but foul. 2-2. Johnson trying to find a way to get out of this jam. A strikeout would do wonders here against Stowers. Braves trail 6-1. Still not impossible considering this Marlin bullpen. The 2-2. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the 96 up top. 2 down. Big strikeout there by PJ. Now the infield can play back. They can stay at a double play depth. They're just looking for the 1 out. We'll bring Myers to the plate. He's got good speed. The center fielder stole the home run from Marcell Ozuna, bringing it back to a double, and ended up keeping him off the board. Braves so many times as the first pitch on the way is outside wide. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. It's 1-0. So many times the Braves have had some opportunities in this game. They just haven't come through. Now they have set Bender down, and he's one of their back-end guys. And Pena is warming up. 1-0. Inside, 2-0. So we may get an opportunity to see one of their lesser thans on the mound, and maybe we can do some damage. Get back into this. 2-0 count. Runners on the corners. Hicks is on deck to pitch. Swing and a miss. Curveball, 2-1. The 2-1. Right there. Good curveball in the inner track. 2-2. Deuces wild, 2 on, 2 out. The 2-2, bottom 7. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Curveball got him out of the jam. And the Braves, though they trail by 5, they keep hanging around. You never know.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.
Are you an adult? Yeah. And it's almost winter? Yeah. Introducing Being Kinda Sick. What's that? You thought winter would be full of holiday spirit and joy, but instead you're just kinda sick for months straight and can't figure out why. Am I sick or am I not sick? I don't get it. Neither. You're kinda sick. What? With Being Kinda Sick, you can be slightly congested all the time, have a cough that comes and goes, and randomly have a sore throat for no reason. And don't forget to have your excuse ready. Dude, are you sick? No, I think it's just... The season change. Please get away from me. I don't know what's going on. I'm not fully sick, but I don't really feel good either. I guess my body's finally falling apart. Try it today.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity v in relation to the trajectory t, in which g, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
Now, who are you again?
Assistant to the traveling secretary.
You're the guy who put us in that Ramada in Milwaukee.
You want to talk about hotels? You want to win some ball games?
Hey, we won the World Series.
In 6 games.
This helpful instructional message from the National Association of People Who Have Trouble Walking and Chewing Gum at the same time. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew.
Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis was brought in as an authority figure, someone who looked the part. This great granite face, shock of white hair. Looked like Jupiter in a very bad mood.
Born in Millville, Ohio, Landis was named for the Civil War battlefield on which his father had lost his leg. As a judge, he had once sentenced an aging bank robber to 15 years in jail. Your Honor, the man said, I am 72 years old. I can't serve that long. Landis replied, well, do the best you can.
Welcome back. Got some fun news for you, Braves country. Jurickson Profar, as the first pitch on the way, is a strike at the knees to Pena. It's 0-1. He hit a solo shot for his first home run of the rehab assignment down in AAA. Is the 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. He will be back. Let's see what day of the week is that? Let me double check on that flight. If everything goes correctly, he will be back on Wednesday, July 2nd. The 1-1, 94 below the knees, 2-1. 2-1 count. Verdugo, 1 for 3 on the night. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. July 2nd, that Wednesday, we will be at home against the Angels. Hopefully Ron Washington's back to work by then. If y'all missed it, he's on an extended leave because of health concerns. The 2-2, swing, chops it off the plate. We'll do it again. That'll be an emotional reunion of the Angels coming back. And you think about all the guys are going to be there coming back to Truist Park. Darnode, Soler, maybe Ron Washington, EY. The 2-2 to Verdugo. Swing, fouls it back. Do it again. Braves trail by 5, 2 innings left here to try to get back in this one. You're in the right part of the order, right in the heart of the order. Start chipping away. The 2-2, swing, dribbles it over towards second. 4-3 put out. 1 away. That'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. First pitch to Riley, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Takes an 85-mile-an-hour slider down and away. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Down and in. Well and inside off the plate, 1-1. Bad call. One count. Swing, lifts it. High and deep into center field. Going back. Get up, get up, get up. Get gone! Zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lamma, ding-dong, a solo shot. And Austin Riley His 12th home run of the year. 430 happy feet later, it's 6-2.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
First pitch on the way to Olsen. Right there, first strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1 chops it back to the mound. Easy 1-3 put out. Oh, a bad throw, but he has enough time to step on the bag. 2 down. Bad throw by Pena, man. He almost threw that thing into the dugout. But Olsen, who was not fast to begin with, was kind of loafing it down the line. I don't know if he's safe if he's busting it, but he's going to be darn close. Marcell Ozuna, the batter, he came just an inch or two away from a home run last time. As the first pitch is outside wide for a ball, it's 1-0. Dylan Dodd warming up in the Braves bullpen. 1-0. Down below the knees, 2-0. 2-0 count. Couple of bloops and blasts, and we're back in it. The 2-0. Swing. Slices it back foul, 2-1. If you weren't with us earlier, when I say inches, I mean the ball hit the back of the glove of the center fielder, and he had just enough momentum to flip it back into the field, or it would have been a home run. The 2-1, 3-1. So instead it was a double. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Three-one count. Pena, the right-hander. Kicks it, brings it, swings, slices it down the right field side, going back. Making the running catch into the corner on the warning track is Sanchez, and that'll end the inning. Now for the Atlanta Braves, put 1 on the board. We'll be back in a flash. Riley goes yard at 6-2.
It's okay to be white. It's okay to be black. It's okay to be straight. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be you. But it's never okay to stop at a yellow light when we both should have made it, bitch.
You know, one of the best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. Down it! I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh, I must be in the front row.
Come on.
Seats, hey, buddy. He missed the tag.
The 9 greatest third basemen. No position in baseball sizzles quite like the hot corner. So let's meet the best third baseman of all time, beginning with number 9. During a 5-year stretch starting in 1910, the Philadelphia Athletics captured 4 pennants and won 3 World Series.
The A's in 1910 to 14 were one of the greatest teams in baseball history.
The infielders on this team, one of baseball's first modern-era dynasties, were so good they were called the $100,000 infield. Manning third in this pricey unit was Frank Home Run Baker, who from 1911 through 14 was among the most feared power hitters in baseball.
During those 4 seasons, he led the league in home runs. He led the league in RBI. He was 4th in total bases. He was 5th in times reaching base. And for good measure, he was also 7th in stolen bases.
He was a power guy in an era that didn't really favor power.
He became known as Home Run Baker not because of his continuing accomplishments, but for 2 swings of the bat in the 1911 World Series, when he hit home runs in successive games against Rube Marquardt and then Christy Mathewson. The first won the game, the second tied the game. He was the key to the Philadelphia Athletics championships.
Yeah, I'd like to bet $100.
You want to pick a team?
No, just take it.
Braves trail this one 6-2. Dylan Dodd goes on to the hill as we start the 9th inning. Or bottom of the 8th, excuse me. First pitch on the way is 93 up top. It's 0-1. Top of the 9th. The Braves will have the middle of the order due up, Ozzie, Smurf, and Michael. If anybody gets on, you would think it's probably the Drake. The 0-1. 95 outside wide, 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, down and in. Cutter misses. 2-1. Eric Wagaman, the batter, he's 1 for 1 with an RBI double in the 6th. The 2-1 pitch, Dodd brings it. Swing, lifts it. High and deep into right field. Going back, making the catch is Acuna for a long, difficult out number 1. It was weird, he was drifting towards the corner and then had to stop and reach his glove above his head as the ball started to drift back, and there's shouldn't be a reason why there's any kind of a draft, but looked like he got a bad read or something. I don't know if he lost it in the lights that they have up there. It was weird. That's something you would expect in a windy stadium, not one where the roof is closed. First pitch on the way to Norby. He's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Tell you what, Dylan Dodd's been pretty good coming out of the bullpen. Nothing else, I think they might have figured that out. The 0-1. Swing, lifts it. High into right field. Acuna's got the easy catch, 2 down. It's not easy to find good lefties in a bullpen. And they'll have plenty of control over Dodd. So, I mean, honestly, I know everybody always wants to make a guy into a starter, but I'm fine with Dylan Dodd being a lefty in the pen. 2 down. Herberto Hernandez coming to the plate. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. They do have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Right-hander swings from the southpaw slider in the dirt. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Could not make out who that was in the pen, but I think it might have been Balazzo, but we'll have to wait and see if they show him again. Hernandez is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly out, a ground out. The 0-2, down and in. 1-2. 1-2 count. You're looking for games later on tonight to pay attention to if you're up late. Got some good matchups out west. Royals and Padres just got underway. The 1-2, high and out of the zone. 2-2. That's probably the best one of the night. The Astros are at the Angels. Guardians at the A's, and the Nats are at the Dodgers. But the big one from a fan interest and media interest, the Red Sox go to San Fran to play Rafael Devers and the Giants. The 2-2, high and out of the zone, full count. And that one I'm definitely planning on being locked into. Full count. Pitch misses. We'll do it again. Payoff pitch from Dodd. 94, caught, looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry, and that'll end the inning. Marlins go down 1-2-3. We got one more shot at this. Let's make them sweat, Braves country.
Ma'am, we've gone over every transaction in your account history. Transfer me to someone else. I no longer want to speak with you. You're not getting transferred again. You've already been transferred twice. I'm the supervisor, and there's nobody else that's going to give you any other information. I want to speak with someone higher than you. In that case, if you don't mind, close your eyes and bow your head for me. What? Father God, I leave you with my customer. She's not understanding, and when you use more money than what you have in your account available for you,
This is girl math. So I bought this purse for $38, which means it was $30. I spent $200 at one store, but all the other stores we walked into, I didn't buy anything. So when you spread it out, that was good.
You saved money.
I saved money.
We went to Sephora and the lady at the cash said that if I spend $20, then I get 500 points, which is $10 off my next purchase. So I made money.
I bought $20 in scratch tickets and I won $70, so I made $70.
Yeah, you made 70, not 50.
And I think they were trying all kinds of different people at first. Guys were making errors and weren't playing good defense. And I got in there and got like 3 or 4 hits.
That's a base hit. Mattingly's 4th base hit in the second one batted in this ball game.
And then I got in there again the next day and got 2 or 3 again. And next thing you know, I was just playing every day.
There's a smash. Stepped on first, 1 out to the plate. He's got it home. What a double play. How about that?
I hope I'm at first all the time. I think that's the best place for me. And really, it's not really much of an adjustment. I've been playing there just basically all my life.
We knew he was the first baseman. As the year 84 went, you know that's going to be it.
Mattingly makes a play. They're going to try to score. He went from third, and he is out of home. Fine play by Don Mattingly.
Boy, you talk about a youngster playing first base.
There's no I in team, but there is a me.
Are you dyslexic?
I'm Caucasian.
Welcome back. Ozzie Albies leads us off. First pitch on the way from Foucher is a 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Calvin Foucher, the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a cutter. They're calling that a cutter. That thing was a curveball that went down into the dirt. It's 1-1. If that's a cutter, I'm 7 feet tall. The 1-1 count. Hanging curveball. 2-1. 2-1 count. Foucher with a 3.81 ERA. 29 attempts this year. The 1-2. He went around, strike 3. No, he did not. Okay, they're going to double check. They're going to say he held up. I am shocked by that call. Looking at the replay. Well, I guess he did hold up. I think it's with the way he shot his bat forward. When I was seeing it from the front view, it made it look like it, but I guess he did hold up. The 2-2. Swing. Might as well struck out. Pops it up into right. F9 your scorecard. 1 away. One down. And that'll bring Sean Murphy to the plate. Ozzie, by the way, now 0 for 4. His batting average back down to 225. Murphy's 1 for 3. First pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's hit up the middle. It's going to be an easy 4-3 put out and quickly 2 down. And Michael Harris will come to the plate. He is 1 for 3. He had a double off the right field wall that almost left the yard. Think how close we've been tonight. 2 balls that should have or could have went out with just a little more oomph. We'd at least be at a 6-4 game right now, and there's a couple opportunities. This game should be tied or better. First pitch on the way to Harris is swung on and dribbled over to second. That'll end the game. 4-3 put out. 1 pitch, 1 out for both Smurf and Harris, and you're never going to get a rally going like that. Braves lose 6-2. Nothing you can say about this one, but the Braves didn't show up. They had a rookie on the mound. He got down early, and they weren't there to back him up. Braves will fall to 6 games below 500. It was 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error to 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Fuentes will get the loss, though all in all for a rookie, I thought he pitched pretty well. And we'll try to get back at it tomorrow with Grant Holmes on the bump, and I like our chances tomorrow for sure. 4:10 first pitch. It'll be Grant Holmes versus Perez. tie this series up and then go for the win on Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll jump on around 3:30. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. Get some sleep, because we're going to get some win on the board. By the way, Philly all over the Mets 5-2. Their struggles are continuing in Philadelphia. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, The sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.